Ba-doo-ba-doo! Blowing out eardrums. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, who's the special guest, by the way? I was really excited to see who it is.
We're gonna have to ask. Because I have no clue. Ba-doo-ba-doo! Whoa. I gotta really update this. Gotta get to that. Gotta update it.
Or wait, you're the one that updates it?
No, not at all.
These things.
Yeah, no, not at all. I don't even know what this is. Technology, they call it.
Outdated.
I want Finaldeathstar off there. That man never shows up for any of my streams. I'm done with him. I'm gonna start a YouTube feud with Finaldeathstar. Enter the unfamiliar. Ooh. All right, everybody. There we go. Welcome everybody to Wednesday night. It is the Humpty Dump. I'm Scott, Sporking News Podcast, and with us tonight we have a panel with us. You know, we do have 32 flavors of Nick Weiser that really brings us up. Wait a minute, hold on. Look at that. There you are.
There we go.
There you go. All right.
Okay.
So, Nick, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm ready to take a dump with the dudes and talk about some good things for once. That's the part I'm excited about. Is talk about some good things.
We will be talking about some positive things tonight, which and some complaints with those positive things, but positive things. I'm excited.
I don't care for the way he said that, by the way. Like, if it sounds like the guy that would play footsie with you under the the stall,
Like the tapping?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mad Martigan, how you doing tonight?
Doing excellent. Excited to see the special guest. Who could it be?
Yeah, we'll have to ask. And one of my favorite McCabes, Sam McCabe, is in the house. He has a channel with his brother Nick. What have you guys gotten a name for that, Sam, or is it still just Sam?
No, it's just the both of us. It's just Nick and Sam McCabe. That's all. Nothing complicated.
You got to think of. I want like McCabe squared, or in the heart of McCabe. Something. We're gonna think of a name.
There are a few good nicknames floating around. I've heard a couple. So
all right.
We'll see.
I like that. Well, thank you for being here tonight. Guys, if you haven't checked out Sam and Nick's new channel, please make sure you subscribe to that. The tens of people that'll be watching this live, I know. Pretty impressive. We have Makani Draws. He is the artist of artist. I almost said it. I had to catch myself. Makani Draws. I'm so used to saying it. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you guys? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. My name is Makani, artist and illustrator. And we welcome you to the Wednesday Humpty Dump here on Sporking News Podcast. And this time, I didn't sleep through it, so I'm here on time.
Fantastic.
It wasn't late like last week.
What are you going to draw for us tonight, Makani?
You know what? I'm going to surprise y'all.
All right.
Surprise.
I am.
No idea.
I caught him off guard. I've been watching Dr. Stone anime. I've been digging that one. Everybody in 2000, whatever it is, like 18 or 19, turns to stone. Everybody on the planet. And it's like 3,700 years later, a couple of them break out of being petrified. A little bit of backwana. It goes into it. You have to, pay attention.
Did you say backwana?
Yeah, backwana.
Like what was that drink called? Joba? What was it? Remember there was a drink that came out like in the late 90s that had bat shit in it?
Yeah, never heard of that.
You're not talking about Guarana, are you?
Guarana. I see what
No,
you
not
did
Gina.
there. No, you talk about the China thing.
Hi. Thank you, Culture, for
No, there
being
was
here.
a real soda.
Why did I ever let you talk me into letting him come on, and then I somehow started liking him? I don't understand this shit.
Oh, he's muted. That's
Wow, you're muted. That's adorable. Boomer!
What I was gonna say is, once you have Matt on, it's like that rash that doesn't go away ever.
Mm-hmm.
But he just keeps coming back. And this is my moment. I would like to say that I am very happy to be here this evening, and I was happy to hear from Bob Odenkirk's son, courtesy of Tina Bojan, who's in the chat right now, that he did have a cardiac event, but he's expected to be okay.
Whose son?
Okay.
Who?
Bob Odenkirk.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. So she talked to his son and we're able to find out that he'll be okay?
No.
Oh, shit. I removed him. Welcome back to the show, Final Culture Death Star.
Tina Bojan was found a message from his son saying that he did have a cardiac event, but he was going to be okay, because we hadn't heard anything for like a whole day. I mean, like a whole
I was
day.
worried, dude. I was worried.
That's scary.
Well, we lost the drummer from Slipknot, and I just found out we lost Dusty Hill.
Yeah.
Dusty Hill.
We
lost a lot.
We lost a lot of people this year, man. Y'all definitely take care of yourself. Seriously.
Well, you know what, man? We lose people every year. You remember,
I know,
like
but
2019, everyone's like, I can't wait till it's over because everybody's dying.
Actually, 2020.
No, well, 2020 was, everyone was like, I can't wait till 2020. And then guess what happened? 2020. But 2019, I remember everybody talking about all the deaths in 2019. We could probably get a list.
It was in 2016 too.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of big names in 2016.
I mean, it happens. The boomers are getting older, you know?
We should start a celebrity death pool.
Ooh.
You know, 3 straight days of musicians. I mean, a lot of guys you won't know who they were, but there's the other band called Metal Church, and their singer Michail passed on. That was 2 days ago.
How old is he?
He was 44, 45, around the same age as Joey from Slipknot. He was the second vocalist. He left the band, and then he rejoined the band in 2015. So I caught them on the reunion tour, and he had stayed with the band since then, released 2 more albums with the band. So they're on a good strike, kind of like, like a second coming wave for a band.
Yeah.
Usually most bands don't get that. So Metal Church had been on a consistent comeback, and then Joey had his situation. And then another day later with ZZ Top. And I mean, bad things really did come in threes with this one.
I mean, Nick, last week we lost the Biz.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
lost Biz Marquis.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, I got to check this out. Ron Papelli.
Yeah, the set it and forget it guy.
Oh, no way.
Well, he's 1,000 years old. He's 86.
I used to love that guy, though.
That's a good life.
Yeah,
That's a damn good life.
Well, I was just about to say that. Dusty Hill, when you're a 72-year-old rock star, you done good.
You lived a good life, man.
You done good.
Yeah.
That was a good run.
You bought a high quality cocaine throughout your career.
You're right. You
You had a
never.
hell of a run.
It was never chintzy stuff. It never was. But let's say hi to the chat real quick before they leave us.
Oh, wait,
Hello, chat.
Before we do. This is important. Who was it that said that like the only reason they survived is because they could afford good heroin?
Probably
Probably
something Nikki Sixx would say.
Keith
Or
Richards,
Keith
maybe?
Richards, or Mick
know.
Jagger.
I think
Charlie
I think
Sheen.
it was Jagger. I think Jagger was the one that said it. Like,
I mean, Keith Richards just looks like he's been dug up. Don't you agree?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, well, Mick's 78, so Keith Richards is 374.
Yeah.
I'm just looking to the left. I'm just looking at this, and I'm like, damn. I'm gonna look at the rest of the year. And I'm like, damn. X ain't gonna be with us next year, man.
Oh, X died, didn't he?
DMX.
DMX,
dead.
man.
Yeah,
That
we
still
lost
hurts,
him.
man. That
Yeah.
still hurts.
X gonna give it to you.
I was watching a clip of DMX
Good.
playing it. I think
you.
Woodstock 99
Woodstock, yep.
recently, and the fact that he did what he did with the crowd, he told them to say a very specific thing to a crowd that was full of pasty whites, and he
And
got the crowd to
racism right
say
there.
it. He did. He got the crowd to say it. I was just like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
power.
That was power.
Well,
When a black man commands a whole crowd of white people, I need you to say this out loud.
it's either that or like the hubris of all those white people. That white privilege really kicking in.
This gonna be good.
Well, it was 1999.
Yeah.
We were
Okay.
still on top, baby.
And
I
what
doubt-
hurts is what's
I
gonna
doubt
hurt a
they
little bit
even
more
did the
is
whole-
that like, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I doubt they even did the. Can I yeah, we can say.
What was it? Wait, what day was that? Hang on.
Tuesday.
August 25th. That's gonna be 20 years since we lost to Leah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
20 years. Mhm.
Wow, that long, man?
Mhm.
Holy crap.
She died in 2001.
Jeez. She was smoking hot.
She was amazing.
When they tell you not to bring all of your shopping and extra people on a private plane, listen.
Right, right. Weight distribution and stuff like that. Like, you
Right.
should really pay attention to what they're saying.
I actually, after high school, I went to aeronautics school.
Mm-hmm.
And then
And then what happened to you?
Well, we came to the decision that it wasn't the best course of action for me in my life. I may have drank too much and smoked too much.
Hmm.
and you didn't come home at
But I
all.
love flying, though. Flying was awesome, dude.
Yeah, that's great.
yeah.
Great story. Thanks. The
Yeah.
Time Prophet
why
is
I'm
here.
here.
Brutal Morningwood is in the house. Hell, here's to a good dump. Thank you, my friend. Keely Chow. Hey, everybody. Adega Outlaw, one of my favorite YouTubers. He has a show called The Strangeness with 14 Barber. on What are you talking about? They have a show called The Strangeness. It's one of my favorite shows on Saturdays, 1 o'clock Eastern time, around there. It's one of the best shows I've ever seen, and I hope everybody goes and watches it. Shut up. Cody Guy is in the house, one of my YouTube members. So is Tina Bojan. I love these people. Thank you for supporting the channel. Small time, great dude. Got to talk to him a few weeks ago. Update for everybody. I won't be doing Monday streams anymore until after the baby's born, so probably in October. So I'll only be doing Wednesday and Saturday streams. Maybe a guest appearance, probably not. A lot of stuff trying to get ready for the baby. So what I can say is I will fit in at least one to two member streams a month where you guys could jump on with me and we'll chat away and talk about setups for my next shows and what you guys want me to talk about.
Members.
I already announced most of
Oh,
that.
sorry, you were on Jesse's stream earlier this week, right?
Yeah,
Yesterday.
yeah.
Yesterday.
I didn't watch
Okay.
it.
During Rogue Entertainment.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I'm such a dick.
Well,
Nikki
hey,
D.
I was on with Midnight's Edge After Dark during.
Cool.
Yeah, you've been really doing that a lot lately.
You mean being on other shows?
Yeah, during other people's live streams. I see what you're up to.
Also,
Yeah.
thanks for stopping by last night, Culture.
Everybody.
Hey,
You
can
gotta
somebody
promote
get a hold-
everybody.
Can somebody get a hold
Culture.
of that?
Methinks the wife is jealous of the mistress. I'm just saying.
Shut up, Sam.
Can somebody get a hold of that Gary guy? Apparently, he was doing a stream during ours today. I don't
Yeah.
really appreciate that.
Yeah, you gotta knock him
we
down a
invited him
couple.
on the dump, and this is how he repays us.
Yeah. Nikki D. Hail, everyone. Who else do we have here? We have Lord Runner. I can't believe I always say Lord Runner because I don't read it
don't.
quick enough.
Runner.
Parrot Head. Yes, I do simp for George R. R. Martin. I'm sorry. You know what? Parrot Head, I'm going to keep eyes on my DMs. If I think YouTube will allow me to post the things you send me, 90% of the time I can't, but I'll try. Marby Dog in the house. I don't have to work tonight. Yay. All right, Marby Dog. Brightest Day. I think I just subscribed to your channel, so that's pretty cool. Nick is here. Anybody else? Am I missing anyone? Soul Assassin is in the house.
I want to say something because everybody needs to hear this.
Yeah.
Mick Jagger's 78 years old.
Mm-hmm.
His son is 4.
Oh, I know.
What?
He still got it.
Yeah, everything
He
still works.
got it.
See the
Absolutely.
difference.
Damn, he
Go
still
ahead,
got
Sam.
it.
Of course, he's still got it. He's practically a scrotum with lips.
Well, yeah, that too. But I mean, damn.
Wow.
You know what it is when
It's still
you're
left in the tank.
when you're that rich, like you don't care if you die, the kid will be taken care of.
Yeah,
You know, like that's it.
I'm just surprised he's still even interested in having sex. Like by this point, you would think he's kind of burnt out. Like, what is, you know what I mean?
He's had sex with everyone and everything.
Yes. Like,
So yeah,
Still
you're
got
not
the
going to
swagger.
surprise
It's
him with
really
anything.
still got the swagger.
I agree. I completely agree on that one. We got E. Clay Thomason in the house. What's going on with you, man? How are you? We also have, let's see, anybody else? If I missed you, I'm sorry. We'll find you as we go along. Oh, Jacob's in the house. What's up, Jacob? He says on this one, good evening, everyone. Just got home from doing some grocery shopping. I spent $300 at the grocery store. Night 5 end.
Night End.
Night 5 end.
Night 5 end. I like
Knife End. Night End.
Knife end. I like the name. I dig the avatar. I dig that. That is awesome.
That's a cool looking dude right there. That's a cool looking dude.
Moves like Jagger Colera. Yeah, it's like
Mick Jagger would
Like you said, still got that swagger.
he would fucking roll
Does he
out.
really have that swagger? I'm like scared he's gonna do his little and be like, oh god, my hip. You know,
Oh wait,
just
with the
go
duck
down.
face or something like that?
Oh god.
Yeah. Make sure you're still subbed. YouTube took back 6 of the 10 I gained. They will do that for a day
will
or
do
two,
that.
and then they'll give them back to you. But they will take. I mean, I've lost hundreds of subs since I've been doing this for a little over 2 years now. Or no, it's coming up on maybe 3 years. I don't know.
I just found out that Tommy and a few others, YouTube took their subs. YouTube unsubbed them from me. So guys,
Oh, it happens.
make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube will do that.
Yeah.
Oh, they
Right.
straight up will. I mean,
YouTube
I got
is fine, funny
stuff
buggers.
from comics, and I'm on a panel with him.
Yeah, dude, I've been unsubbed probably to everybody. Well, I've never been subbed to Matt Martigan, but everybody else on this channel, I have probably been subbed to you guys more than once. Actually, Matt, I actually yeah, you can't ban me. Come on.
I don't know how.
I don't either. I have banned people on my chat that I didn't know. Like that's another thing you want to check. Sometimes accidentally your moderators will ban someone and you don't even realize it. I have found multiple people banned on mine that definitely shouldn't have been banned. And I just go with it. So yeah, guys, make sure you're subbed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brutal Mortimer says, hell, I only have 10 subs. As soon as the part for my Jeep comes in, I can make a new video. Do it, dude.
Are you talking about a Jeep video?
Yeah.
Jeep video?
I don't think I'm subbed to you, Brutal Morningwood. Hold on. Let me do that right now. Brutal. Oh, maybe I should. It's one of the
We all
best.
face.
It's one of the best names like ever. Brutal.
Sometimes all us men suffer through once in a while. I wouldn't say suffer.
That sounds like the name of a '90s death metal band, like Misery Index or Vital Remains or Dying Fetus.
Can I say I'm actually one of your 10 subscribers? So I already subscribed. I probably have never watched one of your videos, and I'm sorry about that, but I did subscribe. So someone could drop here. Hold on, I'll drop it into. Let's get Brutal some subs.
Some wood too.
He only has 10. Come on, he has wood. Well, he's got the Brutal wood. He needs the subs now. Let's do that.
He is a regular in our chat. So yeah.
Hell yes, dude. Yeah, hell yes. Let's see. YouTube's been screwy with the notifications too. I've heard about that. I only look at my subscribers when I release a video, but never look normally. I know I've subscribed to yours once before Time Profit. I'll have to double check that one too. I spent $200 on food. Yeah, I spent $3, bro. So good for you. But I went to Costco, so it's really easy to spend that much. Scott dropping fire on Mad Martigan. Always do, brother. Always do.
What? Is he still talking about look, I need a timestamp for this because he's like, oh man, Scott roasted Mad the other. I'm like, when?
Absolutely
Ever?
correct.
Come
Absolutely correct.
Never.
No, Cold Air is absolutely correct.
Wait, that was Cold Air? Never mind. I was talking about somebody else.
Oh wow,
Somebody
everybody
else
thinks
is
I
saying
roast you. That's awesome.
No.
Rugo
No.
Beta. Hail panel and
Hey, Rugo.
yeah. You had something else to say?
By the way, Cold Air, that's a little insensitive. Dropping fire on me.
I love this. I have to stop modding
think it's
after I
hot.
take Ambien. I ban the hell out of people.
Oh, Tina, you rascal.
right.
That's good.
Guys, let's talk Ghostbusters first. Did everybody watch the video? Or
I did.
You
Yes,
did?
I did.
All right, it took us 19 minutes to get to a real conversation. So, Makni, Let me know what you thought, because you guys might be shocked. I have some mixed feelings about it, but did you like it?
I am very optimistic.
Okay.
I actually am. I'm like, okay, one, this looks like the 80s property that's not going to be like, it definitely looks like Ivan Reitman's not going to be Kevin Smithing it. I think that's for certain. He truly cares about this property, and he cares about how the original lore and everything, and getting everything right.
Right.
And now one of the bigger complaints was that it was too much like Stranger Things, and somebody who's never seen Stranger Things, I completely get that. I got Stranger Things vibe from it too. Yeah. But for everything it did, it was awesome. Especially, I loved that little teaser of Dan Aykroyd at the ending.
Oh, dude, that gave me chills. I'm not gonna lie, that gave me chills. Anybody else?
Yeah, I guess I'll chime in.
Yeah, please.
I like the trailer. I mean, I'm not going to disagree. They had some Stranger Things vibes, but it was also cool to see like a lot of the creatures, like those wolf beast type of things. I don't remember their names, but seeing those run around in action again, I'm like, whoa! And now seeing also seeing the cast, like this feels like a more natural, organic transition of having these kids,
especially for Paul Rudd.
Yeah, and Paul Rudd already feels like a good fit in this as well. Yep. So I'm like, okay, this actually, like, visually, it looks cool. Story-wise, it looks like it's going to be a very straightforward passing of the torch story, which is what should have been to begin with. And I'm hoping that they'll definitely pay good respects to, one, Harold Ramis, R.I.P., because he definitely deserves that moment. Because, for a long time, they kept talking about how we're going to get it going. We're going to make that third movie. And then Harold Ramis passed. And that's what happens when, you keep putting things off. Fortunately, mortality takes place. And we lost Ramis, so man down. But I'm optimistic out there. I'm equally optimistic that I hope that we get more Ecto Cooler from High C again. And I can't wait for my Twinkies, my Ghostbusters Twinkies. I can't wait for my Ghostbusters cereal. I'm going to go broke this fall.
And Nick, you know what the best part is, though?
What?
One of the best things is Ivan Reitman is basically saying that we're just going to ignore 2016.
Oh, not basically. He's definitely saying it. Tom, let's welcome Tom. Tom from Midnight's Edge. How are you, Tom? So good to have you. I tricked you. Yeah, he thought I was drunk 3PO when I sent out. Yeah, because you love a dump. So what did you...
He loves a dump with the boys.
Who doesn't like a good bowel movie? I mean, dump.
Stig, you want to jump on or not?
Stig.
Let me know. We got that Islington girl saying too much like Stranger Things is hilarious to me, considering it takes directly from Ghostbusters. Sweet summer child, right?
She's got a point. Now that she says that,
and Stranger Things is basically it's just referencing everything that about the 80s.
Right.
Everything.
It's true. And
heavily rooted in it. Yeah,
I guess watched it.
And the kids were actually wearing for Halloween. We're wearing Ghostbusters gear and proton packs and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So,
true.
Yeah, I mean, annoyed.
Well, what'd you think, Tom? Did you like it? What would you give it percentage wise?
Well, to talk about this trailer, not to drag this out too far, but like you have to go back to the teaser trailer, and the teaser trailer came out, and I'm like, ooh, I mean, yeah, I can see some of the humor, I can see where the story's going, but I'm not seeing any of the old Ghostbusters in this. I'm not seeing any of the original cast. What's going on here? And so as an experiment, I kind of had this feeling. I showed the trailer to my mom, who is the general audience basically, and she watched and she says like, "Oh, it's another Ghostbusters." I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, where's the girls?" Because she was confused. Like she just watched the movie with the girls in it, and I'm like, "Oh, this is not that." And I had to explain it to her, and that's where I was saying for the longest time, I'm like, they kind of screwed up on that teaser trailer, but they got lucky that they had a long gap between that and now.
Right.
Because this trailer right here is exactly what I was talking about they should have released.
Yep.
You just needed enough to give us the tone that it's going to be like the original Ghostbusters and just give us at least one or two of the original characters. I mean, I initially said all you got to do is have, like, Dan Aykroyd knocking on the door and the door opens. It's like, who called or somebody called and something like that, But either way, it was him picking up the phone was just as genius.
It was beautiful.
And Janine and everything. It was just enough. Not to tease any more than that. We don't need any more trailers. This movie's coming out in October or November.
November 11th.
We'll get one more.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna get
I don't even need one more.
Well, and people were griping about no comedy in the trailer, and I'm like, well, see, Ghostbusters isn't exactly your standard traditional comedy either.
Exactly.
And I mean, I've made a lot of these kind of points, but also, you know, I think that's another reason why they released that Paul Rudd clip.
Right, with the Stay Puft stuff.
So you can see that there's still going to be humor in this, right?
Yeah. Can I ask you guys a question though? Like, I feel like they're going for that 80s, like, and I like that, don't get me wrong, but they're going for like the 80s kid movie vibe.
Right.
But can you, like, and now we were talking about this last night, like, kids from the 80s, like, we used to smoke cigarettes. We were out till the light came on, you know, like, there was no cell phones or internet or GPS or anything that you could track a kid with. Like, it's almost like the kids nowadays, it's hard to do kid coming of age Ghostbusters movie. Like, I wish it was more like Paul Rudd joining the old crew and learning the ropes, and then maybe at the end he starts his own crew type thing, you know?
It's not only difficult for that, it's also like even horror movies in general, because of how much technology we have. Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Well, when was the last time you lost service on your cell phone where you couldn't make a call? You know, like,
that's perfect, dude. That's a perfect one.
Yeah, it ends a lot of movies very quickly.
Well,
a lot of movies end.
I tell you what, Matt, I'm going to roll by your house with a spark gap transmitter, and I'm going to solve that problem for you.
Dude, look at me. I know technology words. Yeah.
He's like a Ghostbuster.
Well, Matt's got a point. Matt's definitely got a point. It's like, you think about a lot of the slash movies at that time. You think about, like, how would that work in a modern setting? And it's like a lot of stuff would be solved because technology
Jason's kill count would be a lot lower unless he had the super duper, you know, bubble technology thing. Fucking culture.
Don't forget, like, one of the greatest sounds for a horror movie is like the dead beeping of a phone. You know, beep. Like, you know, that's always a great one. But let me jump, Sam, because you haven't said it. Sam, what did you feel about Ghostbusters? Let's get back into that.
Look, I'm honestly hesitant, but I'm hesitant about a lot of things right now for very good reason. But from what I've seen, tonally, it does indeed call back to the 80s, and I kind of like that. And quite frankly, anything is better than that 2016 team of Turbo Skanks.
Right. And another good thing.
Remember that.
Well, and then another good thing is you see the kid. I was happy to see the kid working on the Ecto 1 instead of just like turning the key and it working, and like it's like now we're giving him, you know, this iconic car. Like, at least he works on it.
I don't know how much he works on it, but like,
he does say it's the only one that had an engine, and I mean, considering they're probably Egon's grandkids, I'm sure they got some technical.
Yeah, definitely.
That bothers me. Like, every time he's on screen, I'm like, did they make him look weird, or like that's
he's in those years, man. He's in those awkward years.
Wolfgang or whatever his name is.
And speaking of which, I want to bring up is, like, you know, as far as just kind of like female characters go, is like, I really like what they're doing with Phoebe's character. I don't get the sense that there's not going to be like a bait and switch or pull anything off. I actually think it's going to be a lot of I get the sense that a lot of the characters here, their actions are going to be it's more natural instead of like forced actions. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm guessing she's right. She's more like, you're going to get the idea. She's more like Egon.
Yeah, you're playing that in it, but there's that youthful innocence too.
I'm with you.
Well, I think that actually really resonates and works well with how the story and set up everything.
Right. Let me read this really quick. Bright as day for $2. Nick Weiser flavor. This is number one. Nick Weiser flavor number one. Cleveland Steamer Classic. All right. So on my channel,
I was here for number one.
Right.
I've seen a bunch of the other ones, but
should have been number two, but still.
What
I've got this thing for number ones. So anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, this is pretty dope, dude. We're number one. Thank you for being here for that. But let me ask you guys a question, or actually Nick a question. It's only 3 words, right? It's not like it's always like Cleveland Steamer Classic or blah blah blah, right? That's the flavor.
You know, the flavor could be anything. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what you're asking.
Well, like,
which number flavor is onion rings? That's my question.
Well, like, would it be like onion rings, condom, dildo? You know, like, is it 3 words?
It doesn't have to be 3 words. It can be whatever you want. Like I created the 0 flavor. It was just the Yelling at Park Guys collective mango together as one.
Yeah,
That's good.
That's so
good.
gross.
That is good.
I would like to see people do Nick flavor numbers, but with Sporky, so SNP, using those initials, try to figure out flavors.
He went a long way to get to that.
Yeah, really, really long,
That was
bro.
a long-
But no, on the point of the kids thing, like
Yeah,
I'm
please.
hoping the kids thing is more Goonies and Stand By Me than
Right.
it is wannabe Stranger Things. Because like you guys are saying, Stranger Things is already paying homage to things from the '80s, especially it, and it's paid strong homage to things like Ghostbusters and stuff like that. So if you turn around and try to make Ghostbusters like that, then it starts becoming a copy of a copy. And that's the problem I had a hard time warming up to the It remake.
Yeah.
And I still prefer the original, even though I was one of the few who liked the second part of the new It film better than the first part. Most people are like, oh, the first part's great, the second part's crap. I'm like, oh, well, actually, it has a better ending than the original.
Right? Oh, it
But,
does. See, I haven't seen the newer ones. I always loved the original It, but I always loved all those like made for TV movies by him. You know what I mean?
I will argue that the new remake, that's one thing where it has over on the original, is that the ending makes more sense.
Right.
It was a little bit more
Right.
focused.
What were you about to say, Nick? You seemed like you were
Sorry
feeling
about
it.
that, Nick.
No.
No. I saw Soul
You
Sesson
talk.
posting a dumb flavor, and
Oh, there's a dump flavor?
it's a 69 one.
Ah, I'm fine with that.
What flavor has marshmallows in it in celebration of Ghostbusters?
Oh, that's fucking gross.
The dump flavor 69, Germ's fat sweat.
Ew.
What's a germ?
Germ
Oh,
is
small time had to top it. Great.
Germ is George R.R. Martin. So
Ugh.
oh, that's messed up, small time.
I'm not so. Who has to cultivate it? That's my question.
Oh God, yeah, that's a bad one too.
Now we have Tom flavors.
There we go. So we got snip neutered popsicle. That's a good one.
I think you make a good point of just like it needed that needed to be like the first trailer instead of the teaser, and 2, I think it needed that time for it to. I think you needed that little time between the teaser and now for it to drop, and I think they. And I don't know. I don't think it was intentional, but I think they couldn't have put a better time to drop this trailer, because after what's been happening with Masters Universe Revelation and Kevin Smith opening his mouth, this was something that I think this was probably the perfect time to drop it, because
Something the fans needed. Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
something the fans needed.
Yep. Well, I mean, this says it great. The Islington girl says, like someone else said, I will take family Ghostbusters all day over woke Busters. 80s Ghostbusters is it's hard to recapture. That was like in a bottle, man.
Especially
lightning in a bottle.
These kids cannot. They do not have the acting chops of our original 4.
Right.
Not said 4 because I'm even including what's his name?
Winston.
Harold Ramis.
Yeah, Winston. Yeah. Like I just don't think they can get that humor down, that dry, you know what I mean? Kind of not quippy, but like dry back and forth that they have that.
Right.
And I don't think these kids. Plus,
Well, that was the beauty of the original. Like, in a way, they were all the straight man, but Bill Murray was the punchline guy.
Right.
You know, like the
nobody
way
was over the top. There was no
right.
Well, you had Bill Murray, who was the dry, sarcastic one. You
Right.
had Egon, who was the brains. You had
right.
You had Ray was the heart. He was the guy who was always enthusiastic, and then Winston was Winston was your everyday man. He was our POV character. He was the guy.
Our eyes in there, right?
Through, like he said, I'll believe anything you want as long as there's a paycheck.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh man, I got to rewatch those movies. I haven't seen them probably in a good 6 years.
Oh wow.
Now let me ask Jacob. I thought adding the gunner seat to Ecto 1 was a brilliant idea. Wasn't there a gunner seat? Was it the cartoon that had a gunner seat?
Yeah,
Extreme Ghostbusters, right?
Yeah, it was.
I think they used it in the original too. Yeah.
Yeah, the original cartoon, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought so. Stay Puff Marshmallow Go Brew. Goo Brew.
Oh, that's gross.
What's up, Stay at Home? 4 guys in that dry humor now, and kind of risky humor is not going to fly now, though it would be awesome. Yeah. Do you think there will be any risks in this movie, guys?
Oh. I think it'll be
I don't think so.
hard PG teetering on PG-13.
Yeah,
my educated guess.
It'll be PG-13. I don't think PG. Yeah, I don't think the ratings are the same.
I'm talking about like it'll push. Sorry, man. I meant it'll push the boundaries of PG. Like, but it'll probably be officially PG-13, but it'll definitely push some boundaries that will be for what would normally be on PG. Because let's not forget, this is a bunch of kids, so it's gonna have some Are You Afraid of the Dark, Stranger Things vibe, which is at time a very hard PG show.
Right, and the thing is that what I mean is that I don't think they're gonna take a lot of risk just because of the time that we're in right now. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to take those risks that you saw in like the first two films.
Mm-hmm. Sad that humor is now a risk.
Well, that's true. What about you? What about you, Mocking? You had something to say. I'm sorry. After you, I'd like to hear.
Oh no! That was pretty much what I said.
Oh, okay, brother. Sorry about that. What about you, Culture?
Which part of what did you want me to answer? Because I'm looking forward to the film.
Okay.
I think that it will pay the appropriate respect. Every time I've talked about this, I've come down on the idea that I'm optimistic for a change about something. Mm-hmm. I am a little concerned, if you want to find some kind of concern, with the age of the kids. But again, I mean, you're starting from a position as in an article that Tom and I have been through now more than once. The director, he's invested in this project. He's invested in the story, and it's a tale about family. I mean, right. because the film is tied to his family, and so I have a strong respect for that kind of storytelling.
And Dad's still alive, right, Culture?
Yeah, Jason Reitman.
Yeah. Okay. I was just making sure. So Sam, what would you give it? Like, what is your percentage of hope for this out of 1 through 10, 10 being the best, meaning like it's going to be just a fun family film, 1 being it goes 2016. What do you think this will be?
I'm floating somewhere around a 6. In terms of the humor, I mean, look, anything more than, these days, anything more than toilet humor and Whedon-esque quips is risky, but right. Here's hoping they go in a different direction. I mean, so that's good. I mean, humor-wise,
Right.
I think it's going to be somewhere between Ghostbusters 2 in 2016, leaning towards 2. I think you are going to see like drippets of 2016 wokeness.
Drippets.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like in small doses, though.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if there's a bit of Whedon-esque dialogue in there. It just seems to be the done thing right now. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Hey, RevKev.
RevKev, and then Culture. RevKev, congratulations on the 86% passing your test. I think that was for hot yoga. Was that for instructor? If I totally screwed that up, I'm sorry, but congratulations on passing the test you took. All right, go ahead. Culture.
No, I was going to say, first of all, Mad, were you trying to say droplets?
Nope, driplets. It's drippings of stuff.
Okay.
Like spooge?
Will you be able to use that in Scrabble?
Ooh.
Yes, but not on the digital Scrabble. Right. It would have to be a board.
Then it doesn't work.
We're doing great YouTube right now, guys. I'm loving it.
Sorry, like words with Mads is the whole other thing.
I can't laugh too much because I like to make up words too. So
yeah, I just don't pronounce them right there, Culture. So I can kind of understand.
Look, I can't give him too much grief. I mean, I'm an English teacher, so if I listen to him too hard, I'll have an aneurysm.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of hurt a little, but okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, dude, you'll get over it. Just
figured out which one is the evil twin. That was quick.
Brush some fire on it, Mad. You'll be all right. Anyway,
Mad. It's literally on my bio. It's no mystery.
What were you gonna say there, Culture?
Fuck, I don't know. What was I gonna say? Oh, like you said. I mean, I think that even with a tiny little bit of intersectional garbage, this will still be good because they want it to make money. They want it to be appealing. They want this property to continue.
Right.
And you would actually set this on fire, much like Mad Martigan was at a certain point in his life.
That's true. He was.
If you screw it up, because now you will have had 2 bombs in a row that were driven by anything that wasn't what Ghostbusters is supposed to be. I just don't anticipate that happening. So I have a strong feeling.
I brought that up earlier. Culture. I don't know if you were watching the show, but like somebody had asked about it in the chat, and I was like, this is the litmus test. Is there a Ghostbusters audience, or is it just this niche thing? We're going to find out with this movie, I think.
Oh, good way of putting it.
Because if the movie doesn't do much better than the last one, then it's done. It's over.
Right.
There's no more Ghostbusters. It's toast. Like
Right.
you just said. So
it's toast.
It's toast. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, but like I don't know if that's like all. I don't know if you can put all of it on the there not being a big enough following. I think 2016 did some serious damage.
You're right.
To the franchise.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
the bullshit's already started. The bullshit's already started.
Yeah, you heard
yeah,
from you heard from what's that bitch?
Brianna Wu.
The incels are happy. I'm like,
Why? What'd she say?
Yeah, she's
This
like
is
the
the same
incel.
drum they were beating 2 years ago when this was announced.
Well, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, the problem is they still don't make any waves with it. Look, your playbook's old. We've seen it before.
Yeah, it's pathetic.
And you're sad. And now we're just gonna have to copy paste all of the stuff back at you. For every time that you've been wrong.
Well, Tom, could I say this? Ghostbusters doesn't have to be perfect as long as it's fun. So the Tomorrow War wasn't perfect, but it was fun.
Well, Arlington Girl, yeah, you're right. And not only that, here's the thing you have is the kicker.
Mm-hmm.
We may not be all fans of what happened to Star Wars, but remember how big The Force Awakens was.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember how big Halloween 2018 was, right? What do those 2 properties have in common? They brought back the original characters, and that's one thing that people like. If I tell my dad Bill Murray's going to be in a Ghostbuster movie,
Right.
he'll watch it.
Right. Oh,
That
totally.
is one of the few movies that I ever got him to drug him to see in the theater was Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
Like I've only seen like 3 or 4 movies in the theater with my old man, and that was one of them.
And Scott,
That's awesome.
I would have to disagree with you on
What's
one thing.
that?
You say as long as it has to be fun. I would disagree in that. I think the fun factor is important. I think it's always important as long as it's fun. But more importantly, I don't want you to take a huge dump on the fans nor on the original source material.
So let me ask you a question.
All we ask.
But wouldn't that not be fun?
Yeah,
so like that's what
no,
I completely agree with you, man. Like that's what I mean by fun. Like I don't
that's
want
part of the fun factor, but still
don't let them attack us.
Exactly.
Yeah. Who's Brianna Wu? Because I don't know either.
She was a prominent figure during the Gamergate stuff back in 2015 and stuff, like her ZQ, which I'm not saying their name.
One of those.
Snarkeesian. But yeah.
Gotcha. Wink.
Did anybody else get like Super 8 feels from the trailer?
Oh yeah. That's it, yeah.
And that's worrisome. Even though, like, if you're gonna copy movies, copy great movies, like what JJ.
Well, to be fair, JJ's been copying Spielberg, so
that's what I'm saying. Like,
well, here's the thing:
copy someone.
You got Ivan Reitman there producing, Dan Aykroyd's there producing, and I know that doesn't say much because they were somewhat behind the 2016 movie, but that movie was taken away from them. Let's remember
it was taken away. It was
taken away from them, and all props to Andre and his reporting back in the day on that because I was still Midnight's Edge yet at that point.
That was Tom. That was actually the first videos I ever watched of Midnight's Edge.
Yeah, well, that's one of the ways I stumbled on Fantastic Four, but when I really kind of, they were on my radar and that became like one of my main hangouts. But like, the thing is these guys really want to give us, the fans, something good. They know that there's a strong fan base because Dan and Ivan and Jason and all those guys, Jason being Ivan's son, they go to these cons and stuff. There's Ghostbuster cons all over, and they do this shit all the time. And there's different groups in every single state of like hundreds, if not more, Ghostbusters right? And they do all kinds of like charity work and all kinds of other stuff. And they got fully behind the 2016 movie, right? Because they were just blindly, falling into it. And it caused a big chasm, not just within general fandom, but within the Ghostbuster fandom alone.
Right.
Like it was one of those big things, kind of like how TMNT kind of went down.
So do you think that affected, because I don't know who put it with the American Psyche, but did the 2016 affect fans so much that they might not come out for this because they're not aware of the different, like, you know what I mean? Like if you're not watching too much TV, or you missed the trailers, or you're just worried, you know what, the 2016 trailer looked okay. Like I never thought that, but some people did. Well, some people must have, because they went and saw it. Some people,
I think people went to see it on name alone.
But that's what I'm asking you. Has the name been tarnished? That's a good question.
If as long as people realize that this is a sequel to the original Ghostbusters, the sky's the limit. Right.
How are they going to know that? This is the
do the normies know that?
That's what this last trailer did.
Normies know that.
And this is the trailer that'll get cut up into TV spots. So you'll have Janine, you'll have Dan Aykroyd in there.
Right.
People will know.
But didn't they have cameos in 2016 as well, though?
They did.
Well, yeah, Marketing, go for it.
Something that did help in between, the 2016 and then the trailer now was the remaster of the 2009 game, which a lot of people feel that 2009 video game was the real Ghostbusters 3.
Great game.
Because it had all the it was Harold Ramis was still here before his passing and such, so all the writers, everybody was still on board, and it felt like a true sequel to Ghostbusters 2, and having that remastered was probably like the first step into leading up into Afterlife, So I think it's kind of like it might be like a building process. It's like building the branding name back on its good graces.
Right. Culture, you have something?
Go ahead, Culture.
No, I think
I'm sorry.
I mean, I think you're right. I mean, there's a lot to build back from 2016, and it sucks when I have to agree with Mad Martigan, but I know, but there's a lot to build back there. It's you did lose fans, and Tom's not wrong. You did see a huge group of people at cons and stuff that were just 1,000% behind Ghostbusters, and they did go blindly to see that film, and that film underperformed and lost money in the theaters because it was 1,000% not the Ghostbusters.
Right.
And it was, unfortunately, the comedy of the day, the Saturday Night Live garbage comedy, not the good Saturday Night Live comedy that came with the original Ghostbusters film. So when somebody asks, where's the comedy? I'm like, first of all, the film originally wasn't a straight out comedy. Yeah. It was, it had comedic elements in it, but it had, it had some elements of horror and suspense, and but it was delivered in a comedic way at times because of the talent that you had, involved in it.
Right.
And at least to in my opinion, and I think Tom agrees that I think I've heard Tom say something very similar to this. So I think you're going to have to do some damage repair, but I think at the same time it's already been done. I mean, the marshmallow thing was just awesome. I still think that was brilliant, just to release that itty tiny little bit of clip of the Stay Puft marshmallows.
I mean, I could be wrong. Like you guys, it could be tarnished. It could be to a point where people just don't care. They moved on. They have zero interest in Ghostbusters now. And that's where I said, if this movie does just as good or bad or not much better than the 2016 movie, that's the answer to that. Mm-hmm. But you have another thing is, I think maybe if this movie had been released last year, if it was like a normal year and it got lost in the shuffle of a bunch of other shit, very likely it could have been just like, oh yeah, it was cute, but it came and went.
Okay.
There's two things though. Go ahead. Sorry, Culture.
No, I was just going to say, because this is important, because I want to add to what you're saying. You can keep going. Do you think it's going to have a problem? Because as much as I think Eternals is going to bomb, like be the biggest bomb in the history of Marvel, it opens the week before Afterlife. It opens on the 5th, I think.
The week before?
Yeah. Ooh, and Eternals is the 5th, and Ghostbusters Afterlife is the 11th.
Oh, they're going to get crushed that second week.
I know.
Yeah, and so
Nobody
I'm thinking
cares about
Afterlife's going to
Yeah.
Afterlife is going to fist the love Eternals, and it's going to be, Bye Bye Birdie.
Maybe not, because I don't know if they would make enough on that first weekend for it to be a
Fist of Love.
I get what Matt's saying. Like, I don't even. Yeah. The first weekend may just be a thud.
It might be.
Nothing to really fist
I don't know how much there's to drop.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like
That's
it's
true.
already dead. I don't think there's anything they can do to it. No. They got to resurrect it and bust it at that point. No, I think that the thing is, what I was going to say is kind of going off of what you're saying there, Culture, is having zero real competition right now to go up against, on top of it has kind of all the movies coming out right now have like a collective audience of everybody going, okay, so what's next? Because we've been waiting for so long for some movies, and they're finally releasing in a way that we haven't seen since like the 80s, where you only get 1 or 2 movies a weekend instead of 4 or 5 movies a weekend or more.
It's awesome.
And I think you're right. I think Sony's going to kick Disney in the ass with this one.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, and think of this. I mean, this will be on the heels of the only decent chance they have at a Marvel film,
and it won't be on streaming either. Remember that?
No, it won't. Not Sony. And you're going to have. Oh yeah, this was a great article today.
Right.
But you're going to have Spider-Man, right? Which is Sony Marvel joint.
Roughly a month out of that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So I mean, so Sony's going to come out smelling like a rose, and Disney Marvel's going to stink it up, because let me tell you, this thing is not going to make money. The Black Widow will lose money. It's already losing money.
So
not good.
When does Spider-Man come out?
December
before
Christmas.
Yeah, December. Yeah, just before Christmas.
So quarter 2, Sony will probably have a great quarter. That's what you're saying, right?
Will. Sony's gonna kill it, because even if the Spider-Man movie is not well received amongst fandom, the thing is, people are going to see Spider-Man because it's Spider-Man. And even though he's had several movies, his name still draws a box office number.
Well, it's not even just that. You got the actors.
It's going to have Toby and all that shit.
And that's an nerve factor. Yeah, of course. That's an nerve factor. This is going to
be one of the biggest Spider-Man movies ever. You fucking watch. This is going to be the movie where everybody's going to be like, I think this is going to be the movie. I've been kind of quiet on this, but everybody keeps asking, what movie do you think it is that's going to get people back in theaters? This is the one.
Yeah.
I've been quietly saying, because I don't want to jinx it too much, but you've got Tobey Maguire, you've got all this shit going into it. I think this is going to be the movie that everybody's going to have to see.
I want to be wrong, Tom. You and I, this is the one time that you and I clearly disagreed on a film. And
what?
Wait. I think it's not going to do the numbers that they're going to want it to do. I think, I'm not going to say it's going to flop. I'm just going to say.
What, you're saying Spider-Man?
Yes.
No way. Because this is the only reason I hear what you're saying, but I would say their opening weekend is going to crush it, because you have Tom Holland, you have Zendaya, then you have the old school actors in it. I mean, what's their name?
Well, hold on, Scott. You had a good point. You said Zendaya was. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, until you brought up Zendaya, I was like,
I don't know if I'd have let off with Zendaya.
Yeah,
Zendaya wasn't the choice.
Who's Zendaya? That's the girl, right?
That's MJ. That's
Michelle Joe.
Not Mary Jane.
I'll give Culture this caveat, right? If Shang-Chi is shit, if Eternals is absolute fucking trash, which we already know it is, and if it really factors in that all this shit damages the brand so much that nobody goes see Spider-Man, which I just don't believe will happen.
Stack in. Well, wait, Tom, add into it that on D+ you're going to get 2 subpar series in She-Hulk and that other atrocity. Right around the time that this is going to. You're going to have.
That was it. She-Hulk.
Here's the thing: is
Hawkeye comes out first, and then She-Hulk.
As popular as Marvel is, I don't think a lot of the normies are tuning into these shows as we are.
No, they're
not.
No,
it's because they are.
So I don't really think they give a shit. But Spider-Man will get once that trailer drops. If the trailer sucks, Culture, I'll be like, all right, we're done. This is it. This is over. This was their last fucking shot, because this is it. If they don't pull this off, this is where we're going to finally see the thing where people ask us all the time, oh, what can Marvel do to fuck this up? If this movie looks like garbage and they fuck up Spider-Man completely now, because he's already teetering, because I can already see some of the people calling him Spider-Sperm and Spider-Boy and all that kind of shit in the chat, which I understand. I didn't care for the second one, but I did like the first Homecoming one or whatever.
Right.
but this is it. This is their last shot to get all the butts in the seat.
Yep.
Because this is their Avengers right now. They have nothing else right now for a while, right? You got to remember that.
Agreed. They have nothing.
Well, they have no. The Multiverse of Madness, which is Doctor Strange, but Doctor Strange isn't huge. See, I like a lot of people to. Okay, just take a step back. Marvel built itself up slowly. It wasn't a juggernaut to begin with, and it got progressively bigger and bigger with every film because they tied into each other. You had a big baddie, you had like little baddies along the way, and those all showed up in those end credit scenes that everybody became accustomed to. And so when you look at it, Thor Ragnarok was the biggest of the solo films that they had at 850 million global box office, right? With Doctor Strange,
and that's got an asterisk next to it because of Hulk, but yeah, I get you.
Right.
Yeah, global box office for Doctor Strange was $676 million. Now, those released about exactly a year apart, within one day, a year apart.
You're not counting Iron Man movies, obviously, because Iron Man 3 is the highest grossing of the solo films.
Yep.
No. I'm talking about like the initial. Anyway. So, but Ant-Man and Wasp, right? Even that did 623 million in global box office, right? Now look at what's happened with Black Widow right now. Global box office, $316 million.
Yep.
It's not even half of Doctor Strange.
It's not her fault.
Right.
This is the thing though with this, and this is the problem with this culture is we have two things that will never ever let us be able to know for sure what this could have been.
Marketing, turn it off. Sorry, I'm really sorry.
The son of a bitch dropping on Disney Plus, and now it being everywhere so everybody can fucking pirate it, right?
But
that's the thing. We'll never know for sure.
But this is an experiment because the article that was the companion to the one that Scotty has here, it basically says that it was a giant experiment for Disney to decide, what to do with films, or if they were going to be able to make it work with a theatrical window versus a streaming plus theatrical window. The answer so far has been it doesn't work. It doesn't work because you're destroying the business, and this article will get to it, and I'll let the article speak for itself.
I
just want to say this, and Matt, you can go to town, but Black Widow was not going to perform the way it would have 5 or 6 or 7 years ago, and it wouldn't have mattered with any of these other things. Right. And the reason I brought up these movie comparisons is because of domestics, right? Essentially, Doctor Strange is $100 million better 5 years ago than Black Widow is domestically, because Doctor Strange domestically 232 million, right? And Black Widow 156 million, debatable. So
yeah, mad.
All right,
you just have to interrupt him every time.
No, I waited until he was done. There was a
there was a pause. Okay, go ahead.
So no, for the reasons like what you just talked about is like why I don't think that the Black Widow movie is the thing that shows that the VOD doesn't work. Two, like we talked about earlier, culture. We talked about how they're painting themselves in a corner by releasing that 60 million that they made on the whatever the hell they call it on Disney Plus, because you have Jungle Cruise coming out, which will also be on both Disney Plus and in the theater. Now, if it
already has, right?
It hasn't came out yet. It's next week.
Not yet.
Oh, I thought it came out last week. Sorry,
next week. And so if it does better than Black Widow, are they gonna? I mean, if they release it and if it's better than Black Widow, it looks pretty shitty. It makes Black Widow worse. Right. Yeah. If it does worse, it makes Jungle Cruise, which they're banking on making a franchise, look bad too.
Dude, they're banking a lot on that. They're banking a lot on that.
Jungle Cruise has everything going against it. I don't know who the fuck gave them this idea that this thing's going to be big.
Well,
and culture knows what I'm talking about.
I think a lot of it just came from the fact that, Dwayne Johnson's still a bigger draw, and two, I think a lot of people will come into Jungle Cruise expecting this will be another Jumanji. We said it before, like Dwayne Johnson works better as an ensemble cast and not as like a headliner.
Well, that's the thing. I'd rather have somebody like Chris Pine playing the skipper than, this massive Dwayne The Rock,
Yeah, he doesn't feel skippery.
Right. Sam, you haven't talked in a bit. What do you think? Okay, I want to go back for Sam.
Let's go to somebody who isn't a complete racist.
Right.
Wow.
Are you shit? Now I lost myself. Spider-Man. Do you think it will do well compared to what's happening with Black Widow and stuff like that?
Look, I honestly do not think it will do that well. I think the idea of having multiple Spider-Men in a film, I think it was done with Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah. Personally, I think Into the Spider-Verse was a bit overrated, but that was just me. In that, for that reason alone, I just don't think it's going to work because the quote-unquote idea has been done before. But you know what? We'll wait and see. I mean, Spider-Man is incredibly popular. The Sam Raimi Spider-Man was very, very popular.
Yep.
Not so sure about what's his face. I mean,
Garfield
was the best Spider-Man.
Yeah, the one with the hair.
Yeah. Worst Peter Parker.
And Iron Boy, basically. Yeah.
Right. He was not the best Spider-Man, but he did have that. He had some sass. He was not a good Peter Parker, though. He was terrible.
Look, Tom Holland wasn't without his charm. He's not without his charm, but
good Peter Parker.
He wasn't Spider-Man in his own right, if you get what I mean.
He was Spider Boy.
Yeah.
Iron Spider?
No, Spider Boy. He wasn't
into the Spider.
Yeah, let's not go there.
No, let's not get into this.
I do want to
I
read.
actually am in agreement that Spider-Verse was a bit overrated.
Yeah,
sure. I did not like the movie at all.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
It was pretty good.
Well, it's because Tom's racist.
What we'd seen before.
Yeah.
Considering what we'd seen before, it was pretty good. It just considering what we'd seen before, it was pretty good, but it just wasn't really up to the hype, if you know what I mean.
Right.
No, I got you, and I agree with you. But
I get what you mean.
But no, I was gonna say, and it's like, I don't want to get into this whole. I really don't want to get into this, just propping up of Miles Morales.
Right.
All over the place
but you can if you love him. If you love him, do it, brother.
No. It's just never mind.
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna say though, like, look. Say what you will, but I mean it when I said this is their Avengers right now. There is nothing in the next few years that is Avenger level. And everybody forgets that Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire is still the highest grossing Spider-Man movie.
Which blows my mind.
As it should be.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Well, there's a
One,
reason
they
for
had
that
a
is
big
because-
opening first weekend.
Yes, they did.
B, third movie in the series. C, it was the big introduction of Venom. You put all those variables together. We're sticking with the first opening weekend of May.
Yep.
Following up number 2 as well, you added all the variables with a big cast on top of it. But then obviously everything came undone when the movie actually happened.
And don't forget about D, Peter smacking a bitch.
Well, the big reason why that opened so big and it did so well was Spider-Man 2. Let's be real.
Yes, it
Spider-Man
was.
2
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The only movie that we've actually had compared to Superman the movie, and it was like, yes.
Yeah.
This movie, outside of maybe X2 at that time period, was like these movies until The Dark Knight came along was like these movies are the best of the best of the best.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, think about him flying through the city. It was unbelievable to watch when you first saw
a lot
it.
of those villains are coming back too, not just Tobey Maguire, but we're getting Doc Ock and a lot of these other ones too. So yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be a big fucking draw. I do too.
Hey guys, I said it before and you thought it was funny, but Zendaya, like my daughters know who she is. Like people's kids definitely know. She had shows on Disney or something like that. She's a big social media presence. Like her and Tom Holland know how to play the social media game and stuff like that. They draw in people, and then you add on our nostalgia on top of it. I can't see this movie not cracking a bill.
I want to ask
the leaks. Sorry, I was just gonna say, did y'all see the leaks for this movie? I'm pretty sure they're all.
I did.
They're so crazy.
They are very pretty out there. I gotta ask though about if we're gonna talk about this whole thing with Spider-Man and succeeding and bringing the people's asses back in the seats. What are we considering a success? Are we still, is Disney and Marvel still, or Sony in this case, are we looking at $1 billion consider a success? Are we looking at 750 worldwide? What are we considering a worldwide success?
That's a good question.
It's hard to argue these numbers.
Well, and what
much like Ghostbusters with the China virus playing a factor still in our lives.
That's what I was getting at, Nick. I was thinking this Spider-Man is going to be the first movie we get at post-pandemic that'll make $1 billion.
I agree.
I think so.
Barely,
I agree.
but it will do it.
Totally.
It will just.
It has that much. It has that much push, and I think.
Well, it's a blockbuster. It's a blockbuster.
It is a legitimate blockbuster. I'm not saying that stuff like Godzilla versus Kong wasn't, but this is going to be that legit blockbuster. I can see this. And I think this might be a good analogy. I see this in the same way that, with the being the post-pandemic film, how the first Spider-Man film blew up because it was the first. It was I call it the greatest post-September 11th film we've ever had.
Yes, agreed.
That I think the same thing is going to happen with this one.
Okay. What do you think, Tom? Because I know you only have a little bit of time left.
Yeah, I got to run here soon. But no, I think so. I mean, even if this movie does $800 million worldwide, that's a huge success. It goes anywhere below 6, then you got to start to wonder and worry. But they can still blame it partially on, especially if we have a flare up in that one version of what that's out. And but no, and I get the resistance to Spider-Man right now. I just got to remind people that, look, us as the nerds, and I totally respect and appreciate everybody who feels, like he's not Spider, quote unquote, man, he's Spider Boy.
He is.
But you guys got to remember, we've had 20 movies now where he's been Spider-Man. I can buy him being young and growing into the part, and most of the general audience doesn't care like we do.
That's true. That's really true, man.
They just see it as Spider-Man, so that's all they care about.
Because but Peter Parker was in high school and he was his own superhero, but I completely see what you mean when not even normies, people that like Spider-Man don't care because he's in high school. But to me, that's the beauty of Spider-Man, because they never would imagine a high school kid was this great superhero on his own right. And I think that's what they're losing with the Tom Holland movies.
And I totally appreciate and respect that. And I get where people are coming from. Like I said, in fact, I had more argument to make than in Homecoming. Tony Stark is barely in Homecoming. Now, Far From Home, that's a little bit different story. That movie got a little bit too bogged down in the other characters. That one I will agree with people.
Yep.
Tom, can I ask Tom a question?
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to ask how you feel about the December release date. That seems
it's gonna kill. It's Christmas, man.
It's perfect.
Yeah,
that's a good release date. Perfect. I don't think anyone should be arguing. If that should be the least of the arguments we should be having. Let me give
you another thing. It's far enough out yet that if this other strain or whatever does kick off, they can move it again.
Well, is it true that that's why they didn't release a trailer this week? Is because they're worried that if they do, it'll be another year before the movie comes out?
That's a plausibility, but I got to remind people, and I've been saying this for a while. I know because I get almost daily. I swear almost daily. And it's not like I'm saying anybody shouldn't do this. I understand how you feel. Asking, where's this trailer? Where's that trailer? And the last few weeks has been, where's the Spider-Man trailer? And all I can tell them is, look, they'll drop it when they drop it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there was this deal before the pandemic that the theaters were bitching and moaning that the studios were releasing trailers and teasers and shit too early. And there was always this kind of rule in the books that they were only supposed to release so many trailers before a certain date. Otherwise, it's like a 4-month window.
Right.
And so they all agree that they were going to finally respect this rule now because so many fucking movies come out. And the way the window works with the internet and how people are, they were losing interest and not knowing when shit was coming out, and there was too much confusion. So outside of a few slim instances where they're allowed to do one a little early here and there, but you won't see a lot of trailers and teasers too far ahead of the movies anymore.
Tom, I'm wondering if this might be a factor, because I know you're saying, because I know we're saying with the success of Homecoming and possibly the of course the success of Far From Home, but I also wonder if there's also going to be bigger interest in this because not just of having Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield back, not having this, and also the success of the first 2 MCU films despite quality, but I'm also wondering if you also have to factor in the fact that in 2018 we had a fantastic PS4 title called Spider-Man, and I think that might help with gauge more interest. People who were loving the PS4 game, because the game did well, and also the Miles Morales spinoff. I think that's going to help increase the interest more too. I know it probably definitely interests more for me, despite the fact I'm not a big fan of Tom Holland.
I think the people that were big fans of that game were going to go see this movie anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Like the game's going to win over new fans. Like people were on the fence about the Spider-Man guy until they played the game. I'm pretty sure they're already on board.
Right. And Time Prophet, I agree with you on this, but I did like at the end of the last movie, like him, spoilers for the last Spider-Man, how he was coming into his own using Stark tech. I wish he didn't use it, but it worked out that way. And
I like it in a sense that it explains where where a kid with no money would be able to get his hands on some of this technology. Right. Like that I buy. Like,
yep.
I get where people come from on the other side of it, but yeah.
Can I address ArcherJacobBarton's comment?
Yeah, let me get down to it. He says, I'm wounded. What kind of part will Dr. Octopus Alfred
what
have in Spider-Man?
What we're hearing is that the Doc Ock they're bringing in is Doc Ock, who sacrificed himself at the end of Spider-Man 2. They're bringing him back to life, basically, and making him
back to life.
So it's not like an alternate reality version of Doc Ock?
No, it's straight up Alfred Molina. It's a straight up one where he sacrificed himself at the end of Spider-Man 2, where he actually, became a good person. They're just going to turn him bad back again. I think.
Right. Wait, you bring him back to life as though like they're going to go out and
it's multiverse. Think of it. It's a multiverse.
Setting up a Sinister Six too, because they had a lot of pre-production ready on this, and I don't know if Culture knows anything about this too, but this makes the most sense. You get a bunch of headlining actors together, and you put together a Sinister Six built out of some of the most well-known actors, and it makes sense.
Yep.
And I even heard the rumor that Willem Dafoe is back too.
Oh, dude, he was the best part of that first movie. He was amazing.
Wait, this is very important.
At least it's not Dane DeHaan. I'm just saying.
This is very important, right? So we have all three Spider-Man, right? And there's William Dafoe as Green Goblin. There was a spider fight.
and also from what we're hearing is that, and just take it as a grain of salt, that Tobey Maguire's Peter will die in this one.
Oh, you know he is. That's the only way they're gonna do that, Makani, because it's the only way. Because if you keep him alive, the Raimi crowd, which I know there's a lot of you out there, they're gonna say we need the fourth movie. This is the only way you can do that, by saying here's your story with him. Now stop asking.
He might, but do you think he might die? Actually, I was wondering more about in Doctor Strange.
I think he'll be done in this movie. I think.
That'd be dope if he went into Doctor Strange. Though,
because that was the whole thing that made me. Because like when Mikey Sutton was telling us some of this shit way back when, and I said something to Andre, I'm like, wait, something's going on here. Because before we even heard about the multiverse Spider-Man thing, I'm like, you don't bring Sam Raimi into just direct Doctor fucking Strange,
right?
Well, he said Strange in Spider-Man 2. Remember when J. Jonah Jameson was coming up with names for I think Doc Ock, and at the people he said Doctor Strange.
He's a fan. He's a fan. Don't get me wrong. He's
clearly a comic fan.
But you don't bring somebody like Sam Raimi into just direct Doctor Strange 2. It just something happened, and not only that, there was a fallout with the original director because he's like, "Fuck this noise," and he ran off.
Yes.
So
that's crazy, dude.
Something's up there. I have a feeling Raimi's involved for a reason. Because at this point, when else have we had Kevin and Cultural know what I'm talking about here too? And I keep saying shit, but he's got to back me up on this for once.
No, you're right. You're living there. No, you're 100% on it.
You don't bring Sam Raimi in if you're Kevin Feige if you don't plan on him having some kind of bigger deal, because otherwise he's brought in directors who he can mold and shape.
That's a good point.
Edgar Wright, though. They brought in a big name with Edgar Wright, and we all saw how that played out.
It's the same concept he had behind getting Gunn in on the other side of things. This is not. Again, this is not a one shot deal for Raimi. So he's going to be there for a bit. Tom's not wrong, and you're going to see him as part of other projects, if not guiding or driving the projects themselves. You need somebody who is able to go darker. They've been trying. There's a lot of pre-production on the darker side of things that has been in the background.
And he can mix humor in it successfully too.
He can. And so what Tom's not saying, and I'm not saying, is this.
Yeah, you say it.
They want to get dark. They want to explore the darker characters in this universe. They want to explore
Miles Morales, or
damn it, I was about to say.
No, I don't think that's what they meant. No, not what they meant. I think that's what Hope is talking about.
Sinister Six is hiding right now. It's in a room. It's on a series of walls on a bunch of cork boards.
right?
And it's one of the things there, but there's more than that. There's more.
Well, let me ask you a question. The culture, is this going to be like a darker version of Into the Spider-Verse? Are you saying it's going to be, like Will Garfield's because they don't get along? Rumors.
Going to have a darker Spider-Man take,
right?
For sure.
Okay.
You're going to have because of the success of Venom. Right. And because of the success that they're having with that, and because of the villains that they have available still, they and some of those characters that live in between, right? You're going to start to see more and more of that. And it makes perfect sense to have Raimi there. It made perfect sense to have Gunn on the other side of it, from the mystical and the magical thing, right? With the Doctor
Guardians of the Galaxy,
the opera,
but I think
space opera shit.
Yeah, that was supposed to be him. And Tom has been talking about this for a year now.
But he says he's done now, so yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. But the Raimi thing's for real, and Feige can't do it all by himself. And Tom's right. Feige likes to ride herd over impressionable directors that are basically just there to be their glorified second unit guys. I think Tom might even agree with that.
They even separate some of the shit where the action shit's being shot already. The special effects is already.
Oh, I've heard that. What director came out, Tom, that said that?
Oh, the Captain Marvel one bitched, and so didn't what's her face who did Wonder Woman.
Right.
Oh, right.
Patty
Jenkins.
Patty was not thrilled with the way the DC did things. The way Marvel did things versus how DC did things.
Right.
And Nick, off topic, I really liked the 2015 Ant-Man film, but I still would have loved to see a version with Edgar Wright still writing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
they still used part of his ideas, so I think he still gets a writing credit. But no, I could be wrong, but I think what we'll see in the Spider-Man, and hopefully for those fans who are all sick of Spider-Boy is
soon. 20 minutes, okay?
Okay,
that's all right.
20. Yeah, I mean,
you can mute Nick.
One thing we will see is
hungry.
I think this will be the movie where Tom Holland's Spider-Man does kind of come into his manhood.
Come to his own.
Tom, but if that does, Tom,
and I think it will be by seeing older Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and it'll be part of him realizing
sacrifice.
What kind of man am I supposed to be? He's at the right age now, and that kind of shit. So again, and I think he's only got one more movie after Doctor Strange, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think he added one more Spider-Man.
Right.
I think he added one more Spider-Man, but I'm not sure.
I think. Well, no.
I thought he had two more Marvel.
He's supposed to do a guest appearance in an MCU movie, and if I had to guess, I would. I'm hoping not the Marvels. Because then what's going to happen there.
Well, he was always signed for 3 movies. He was always signed for 3 movies.
And he renewed.
But then when the Marvel thing happened, I thought it added 2 more movies to his Marvel deal or whatever. So I thought that included another Spider-Man movie. But unless Culture knows better than me on this one.
No, I think that he is obligated to the Marvel project, and I think the other project's unspecified.
Okay.
Well, if they're going to bring in the Sinister Six, I'm sure
they're
going to need Tom Holland. I mean, if they're going to keep Spider-Man going, they want to keep a consistent Spider-Man. One, they need to keep not only Spider-Man consistent, but if they're going to bring Doctor Strange in for that movie, obviously it's going to probably lead into his second movie. But they got to make sure they lay off him being a mentor to Spider-Man as fast as possible. Because I will capitalize off what Sporking said earlier. It did feel like, granted, he was using Stark's tech at the end of that second movie, but he was doing the fight on his own. He was going out there and getting the job done by himself. And he was doing that. And whether you like the movie or not, it's not here or there, but that's a fact. He did
and I think something you're forgetting. I think something so many people are forgetting is that Peter Parker is a scientist.
First and
We need to
foremost.
see that scientist, the way we need to see Batman as a detective.
Absolutely, dude.
Never
Very
seen
good
it.
way of putting that.
And you're
Tom,
right. And that's what I was pointing out to some people, going off of what Nick was just saying and what McKinney both were just saying, was we didn't get to see him develop a lot of his early tech because he already had it by the time we met him.
Right.
So we didn't get to see that. And you guys are right. That's not fair to the audience. And then on the other side of it too, I agree with you, Nick, that I feel like people are overlooking that big fact in Homecoming was, you have that poignant scene where Stark's like, if you can't do it with the suit, then without the suit, then you don't deserve the suit.
That's what I've been saying, Tom.
And that's what I love about that last quarter of the film. Is that he does it all on his own, and especially kicking off with that scene between him and Michael Keaton. That movie just kicks into overdrive for me. And even as slow as that first half of the movie is, that last bit. Really
Michael Keaton was great.
Yeah,
Michael Keaton was great.
So
Tom, all right, guys, take a second. Tom has to go.
Because then I got to head over to another deal here. But I always love hanging out with you guys on the dump.
Love you too, man. I mean, love hanging out with you.
What's up, Tom?
You made my picture really big.
I love making you big.
Love you, Tom.
Not gross at all.
Yeah, that was good.
Touches my schlong.
Really sweet.
It's like hard.
Bye, Tom.
That's a perfect goodbye. Touching my
That's a
schlong.
perfect goodbye.
That Islington girl for a Canadian $5. Thank you so much. I'll give this a try. Sporking News Podcast flavor number 69. I got my own flavor. Day old and dribbly New Jersey pork roll. That is disgustingly beautiful. Thank you so much. Culture, can you do me a favor? Either the one I just put up there.
I got it.
Or if you guys want to jump to the Loki director. But I'd like to read a little bit of that Black Widow one. If you could share that, I'll be right back, guys.
I want to say one thing though.
Yeah, say it.
Yeah, the Vulture, Mike Keaton's Vulture was great. Like I still think about that. What was that whole scene where he's talking to Peter in the back of the car? It was fucking creepy. Oh my god, that was creepy.
Still feel the chills from that scene.
I know.
Working on the show.
I'm with you, Makani. I love that scene.
Awesome.
Even though, like, now that I've seen the twist coming, that scene doesn't feel any less intimidating.
Like
Absolutely.
What?
What?
I'm going in with the third Spider-Man film on cautious optimism. I'm going to have cautious optimism on this one.
I think the best sign is like if it appears as though whenever they believe in something, they give it a good director. When they don't, they give it whoever the fuck directed Black Widow.
Well, and you're absolutely right. And don't forget the Russo brothers might be doing a Secret War movie. So I've heard those rumblings. All right, Culture. Take it over.
Right, here we go, guys. IMAX boss says cannibalization hurt Black Widow. Thinks Disney will return to theatrical window releases. Despite Disney's experiment with releasing movies like Black Widow and Jungle Cruise day and date in theaters and in home on the POV tier of its Disney Plus premiere, IMAX CEO Rich Gelfond doesn't believe the model will be the new normal moving forward.
Oh, shit.
Every studio, excuse me, let me change voices. I don't have a French accent. So every studio
I could do it.
has been seen the same data that Disney has seen. I can't do it.
Is that French or Irish?
What Disney is, what Disney experiment is. Shut up, man. What Disney did is experiment during the pandemic, which is what they said they were going to do. The CEO said during the large format exhibitors Q2 2021 earnings call. By the way, that was a good earnings call.
That was.
I remember Disney CEO Bob Chapek saying at one of their investor days that when times are normal, that he thinks theatrical is important. Exclusivity is important, Gelfond said. And I think, oops, that was not good.
It's starting to sound Asian, dude.
When he looks at his data and the pandemic it is in the review mirror, then he'll come to the same conclusion that everyone else does. The way to maximize value is to have a theatrical window.
Window?
Shut up.
Like window, huh?
Shut up.
Maybe mine's more French Canadian.
Man, shut up. They used to share the same property 5 times, and now they're selling it once. They might be bringing in some revenue forward, but there's no proof points that it's a better model. He added that a lot of the same people, they will come to the same conclusion. Addressing the fallout from Black Widow, which reportedly made a combined theatrical box office and POD opening of $218 million, but only 316.3 worldwide to date in pure box office, Gelfond said, "There really is no question in my mind that the combination of POVD and a lot of piracy, people haven't really talked about it much. Clearly, there is a lot of piracy that accounted for the cannibalization, and it significantly affected the box office at the end of the day."
So are we going back to this piracy argument?
How's that cannibalism?
I'm surprised they didn't use the corona as an excuse.
Well,
or men.
But Makani, can you agree? And I'd like to hear from Sam because Sam's been really quiet. Makani, can't you agree though? Like, if it's on Disney Plus, you can pirate the hell out of that. Well, like, you know, you could copy it and send it on its way. There are ways to do that. I don't think it's as big as they're saying. I don't think there's a lot of kids selling DVDs of, you know, Black Widow out of the trunk of their car. Yeah, I went DVDs on your ass, whatever.
But, right, and I get that, and I get the point, and I see what you're saying. Kind of, you know, people take kind of what they paid $30 for it. The people who actually went and paid $30 for it on Disney Plus will try to get that pirated copy and put it on the 7 Seas. It's just, I don't think you should go. I don't think it's the same excuse we saw at the beginning of Black Widow. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the thing is that I've always been in this mindset of people who do will you know, go out to the 7 Seas and, you know, go out in that favor to watch like stuff like that. If they really like it, they'll end up buying it.
No,
seriously.
There are people that will do that. Yeah, I guess.
One of them.
People will pirate stuff, and if they end up liking what they sing,
they'll support it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, people that have morals, unlike you, Mad.
Well,
you know?
I don't go to the high seas in the first place there, Scott.
Oh, okay. Well, I go check out things with my friend online. He's Asian. Right. Yeah.
Moving on.
Okay.
I don't know what to make of that at all.
Shut up. So we got Andy in the chat. Andy is one of Jesse's chat members that I thought he always has some really good points. So I'm glad you're here, man. Welcome to the dump chat. If you've been here before,
Andy.
Let's just pretend this is your first time again because I forgot. I'm a dick. I love you, man, though. Thank you for coming over. Culture, what do you think about what you have read in?
Yeah.
Well,
the article.
I believe, and this is basically what I said in the 6-Minute Daily this morning in an abbreviated way, that he's 100% right. This is an experiment that did not work out well for them. It may have gotten them some revenue, given them an idea what this can do to their earnings, and while it gave them an artificial bump that didn't suffer from, you know, a share being taken by the theaters, you know, out of their net. Right. At the same time, they still have to share some revenue from that to the for their ability to stream through different avenues. So they are sacrificing some of their revenue. But beyond that, there's no win here. It's a conversation Tom and I have had 1,000 times.
You guys are so awesome.
He says it specifically. Well, no, I mean Tom.
No, I'm kidding. You guys have. When is that show so everybody can know?
Oh, the Tuesday tirade. But I mean, we talk about it over on Midnight's Edge After Dark, or Midnight's Edge in the morning, or any of those places. But but I mean, I'm privileged enough to hang out with them, and I thank my lucky stars that I am. But
here, Culture.
Shut up, man.
He might be watching.
They used to sell. This quote that I think is the most pertinent, and I'll highlight it because this is the thing I agree with 1,000 times. They used to sell the same property 5 times. Now they're selling it once.
Okay, so to the movie theater.
No, well,
to the rental. Right, like is that what they're talking about? To the movie theater, to the rental?
Yeah. Okay, so you had movie theater, then you had strictly controlled video on demand through cable services or satellite or whatever.
Right.
You had a digital release that went out on Vudu or some other platform like that, iTunes, whatever else, Play Store, right? Then you had the actual sale of the thing, right? And then you had, when it went off to television to show on a, linear terrestrial set. Right. So you had these 5 different avenues of revenue. And I didn't even include selling it to movie channels, which again, that's probably also thrown in with that 5th element. But you had all those things. Then you get a chance to resell the same thing that's cut in a different way with the non-theatrical release, the director cut, all that other stuff, which will bring in another chunk of revenue. Right. So, and because of the way those revenues work when you get to the physical copies, it's the stores and everybody that buy that inventory from the creator at that point, the person that's printing the discs, and then it's their obligation to sell it. Okay,
so all right, let me ask Sam something because I do want to hear from Sam. I like what that Islington girl said. Basically, I don't give a about Black Widow. It's the implications for everything else. So this movie really was the introduction of Natalia Slovakova, played by Lawrence Pugh. Yeah. She's a very attractive girl. What does get me really going off course, though, is you see the difference, though, in today's Hollywood. You have Johansson in this beautiful, sexy, tight white outfit, and then she's in like a frumpy white one with a vest to make a point, I guess, whatever. But Sam, what do you think? Is it excuses? What do you think it is? Or is it just people don't want to see it because she should have had her movie 5 years ago?
Look, honestly, as much as Culture Cuisine Casino's accent has literally driven me to distraction, I do agree with what he said. Right. I also agree with what Maki said earlier and with what you said earlier. So honestly, there's not much more to be said. I think most of it's just horseshit anyway.
Yeah.
I think that either they drastically overestimated how popular this movie was going to be, or they knew
going to be.
See, culture, man.
No, but yeah, you totally just did that. Okay,
right? But they know that it's going to fail because this is not the litmus test that they need for the VDID. What do they call it? The
VD.
PVOD. The PVOD.
TiVo.
video on demand.
PVOD. Yeah.
PVOD.
Yeah. No, you're right. No, I agree.
The PVOD, because this was never going to be successful. It's too late.
Successful?
Yeah, successful. Well, the accents got me all.
Yeah, you're hurting, buddy.
Yeah. Culture's accent fucked me up.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, everybody out there too.
I don't think that they have. I don't see them having any confidence in this model if they're going to base it on what happened with Black Widow, because they have to know that it was
and that's to say nothing about the other movies they've also released on the PVOD. What else have they released? I mean, Fire and the Last Dragon, Cruella, movies like that. They haven't been the best examples. Terrible movies.
Mulan was a tragedy for kids.
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
Mulan was
they're not the best examples.
No, valid point, man. That is a really good way of putting it too. Because Cruella, again, that was a movie that didn't need to be made. Mulan, exactly. They were doing all they did a terrible job with Mulan. Leaving all the political stuff out of it. That movie just was terrible, the way they went about it. But they were already doing all live actions. Cruella was not needed. That movie was dumb.
Thank God we got it.
I didn't see it, but to me, it was dumb. Andy makes a valid point too. Andy, I would say Phase 2. She would have been perfect for a Phase 2 movie.
Yeah, exactly.
After Winter Soldier.
And the thing is, Mulan, that was patient zero. That was the first, the first litmus test of all this with Disney Plus, and that had so much baggage and so much going on against it that it wasn't going to work. So just them thinking, I really don't think that you could be this gullible to pay $30 on Disney Plus for it when.
Whoa.
Captain America, Andy. Captain
hold
America was great.
Yeah, what are we?
I love Captain America, the first Avenger.
Me too.
I
like
it.
it.
I don't think
No.
counts, does it?
I
Hold
love
on.
Phase one.
Okay, Nick.
Hold on.
I love that this can make us go completely off topic and fight about fucking 10-year-old movies.
All right,
go.
If we're gonna talk about defining does, as they talk about in terms of underperforming, in terms of how he feels, because in terms of how he feels, they know he's entitled to his opinion. I disagree. I mean, Iron Man 2 was objectively very successful. I'm not a fan of that movie. My feelings towards it are neither here nor there, but it was extremely successful. Yeah. The numbers are the proof in the pudding. That said, The Incredible Hulk, it did barely better than the Hulk movie with Eric Bana. Now, looking back, I thought the time was fairly good. I did rewatch it recently. I will say, despite the CG in the middle scene in the afternoon, the movie did actually age pretty good. Yeah, I will say that. And Captain America 1 aged well, too.
I love Captain America.
Count as
me too.
1, though.
Yeah,
I don't think they were phase 1. It was part of that whole phase. Tony Stark shows up at the end. Thunderbolt Ross was also in Civil War and Infinity War and Endgame.
Yep.
And Abomination's going to be in Shang-Chi coming up. So there, and of course we got She-Hulk coming up as well. So plot threads are finally
valid. Good try. Captain America was one of my favorite ones because I love that World War II feel. Yeah. Incredible Hulk was a good movie, solid compared to, like you just said, Bana movies. And Iron Man 2 just... I just watched a video about Iron Man 2. That was the end of
Paramount.
The end of Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau, yeah.
He gave up Avengers because of Iron Man 2. And the movie there, I saw a great video. I can't remember who it's by, but they said that the movie he came out with after Iron Man 2 was a movie called Chef, which I've seen. About a guy, right? Good movie, right? I liked it. I thought it was fantastic.
Didn't get a lot of traction. Was definitely an art house or
it was
independent project.
Great dad becoming a good man. Just good movie. But they say that is a movie telling the story of the making of Iron Man 2. And if you watch it, it really breaks down. The owner of the restaurant. Spoilers for Chef. The owners of the restaurant culture, he's not a bad guy. So Kevin Feige's not a bad guy, but they disagree on, no, this is your hits. I want you to just keep doing the hits. And he wanted to go darker with the movie. Mm-hmm. And that's what broke that tandem apart.
Ultimately, though, if they'd have gone the direction that Favreau wanted to go, it would have been even more successful than.
Oh my God!
I agree. I agree 100% on that.
It's one of those things. It's the same thing with Favreau has the unfortunate circumstance. He gets in with somebody else. Somebody else ends up actually holding control or reins over him, and they tear down what greatness he created. Which I'm going to tell you right now is the thing that happened with Lucasfilm for Mandalorian and the world he was building out there. Now that world's been compromised in a lot of different ways, and it is what it is. So, just for fun, I pulled up the numbers for Black Widow, Cruella, Milan, and Rhea in The Last Dragon.
Okay, before you give those, let me just read this. Bright as Day for $5, dude. Thank you so much. Nick Weiser flavor number 3. And only, you know what, Bright as Day, because you said it, only numbered ones can go into a super chat. So I'll show the other ones, but I will only read the super chat ones. Thank you for the idea, Bright as Day. Nick Weiser flavor number 3, Black Widow, Belgium triple penetration. I didn't even read the rest of that. Penetration. That was great. Great. Good one. Sorry. All right. Give us the numbers.
All right. I shared them, but it is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. So Cruella is the latest film. The production budget was $200 million. They put nearly $100 million into the advertisement and promotion of the film. They had to do that at least $100 million. It could be more because of the Super Bowl commercial that it appeared in before it didn't actually show up in anybody's, right, in anybody's theaters. But anyway, we move on. So it ended up with, so far, and it probably is not going to jump too much higher than this, $318 million. Right now, that number is not exactly where they want you to believe that it is,
right?
Because they want you to think that globally, it hit 218 million because they're adding in this supposed 60 million that it pulled in on Disney Plus,
right?
So let's give them their 60 million. So it's $378 million, right? Still not quite going to get to profitability on the film. Now, you have Cruella. Okay, Cruella released a day and date in 3,800 theaters, eventually 3,900.
Can I ask you a quick question? Did they all spend 200 mil, or is that just Black Widow and Mulan?
Oh no, Cruella was also a 200.
Okay, so they were all 200 mil.
Somewhere between 180 and 200.
Okay,
so I'm just going to say that because Cruella was reported in three different numbers, but I'm just going to say 180 to 200 million. A lot of it was special effects budget.
Gotcha.
But anyway, so that film came out with 225,395,000 that they're willing to report. Now, that money, if they added 60 million, let's give them 60 million every time. That is 285 million. It lost money. Then you have Mulan. Mulan, and again, these are gross totals. These are not nets. So Mulan. $200 million in budget. It netted what they're willing to admit, 69 million worldwide. Add 60 million to that, 129,900,000 for it. And Raya and the Last Dragon, I don't know the budget number on this, and neither do they. It net $115,823. I'm not going to give them 60 million on this one. I'll give them maybe 30.
Yep.
So Raya and the Last Dragon may have broken even. Mulan lost a giant pile of money.
Right.
Cruella
Yes, it did.
lost a pile of money. And if Black Widow doesn't do something magical, it will have lost a pile of money. So I'm, like I said, not encouraged with what they're doing on Disney Plus and or their day and date release strategy. So much like the French guy that I did a very bad job of impersonating, I think they've realized the error of their ways.
But again, though, none of those all those movies had one thing in common: they're all garbage. Like, I mean. It would be interesting.
You know what? I saw Ray.
Good movies. Like, I did.
Well, I did see Ray and the Last Dragon with my daughters. They watched it because we have the Disney Plus thing, even though I hate it. But I use it, so I'm a hypocrite. I use it too. But they really enjoyed it, and it wasn't bad. It just, I don't know. You had both girls. They weren't all good and they weren't all bad. They weren't princesses type thing, but
it was too much like Avatar.
Yeah, in a way. The worst
but
girls liked it.
The worst I've heard is that it's aggressively mediocre.
Yeah, I would say that. But
it's the best way to put it.
I want to touch on this. The Hulk hasn't had his solo movie yet from Stay at Home podcast JM Cruz. They said it was. I forget the order, so excuse me if I get it wrong. Infinity War. Is it? Was Infinity War before Ragnarok or Ragnarok then Infinity?
Ragnarok was after, and the thing is that the reason we still don't have a solo film is because Universal still holds the rights.
Right. So they said their solo movie for now was Infinity War, Ragnarok, and Endgame.
No,
that makes no sense.
Okay, whatever. Just give me those three in the order that they're supposed to go.
Ragnarok, Infinity War, Endgame.
But
that's what they're saying.
The problem, though, is that I believe, and somebody correct me, probably Culture, that there's problems with the licensing because I think the licensing.
Yeah,
I think there is issues with the licensing
by a different studio.
That's what Makini just said.
I didn't.
Yes. Same with Namor. There's a lot of complications with Namor as well.
Mm-hmm. Marvel sold off, right? Culture. Marvel sold off the rights to everybody back in the late 80s.
Yes, they did.
Late 80s, early 90s before they got rescued. Go ahead, Culture Casino, and then Nick, because you know a lot too.
They were on the verge of bankruptcy even way back when. I mean, multiple times. They had a lot of failed studio projects. So there was a lot of things that came into play back then. So yeah, I mean that's why Universal controls some theme park rides for some of the characters, and why Disney could not put in anything other than Guardians in the Galaxy attraction in their parks in Florida.
Oh wow.
Now, west of the Mississippi, however, Disney can build as many, Marvel property attractions as they want to, which they did by building Marvel's campus.
Right.
They put a Guardians attraction in DCA by replacing the Tower of Terror, but they added to that a Spider-Man attraction, which, guess what? If you go to Florida, Universal has a Spider-Man attraction. So there you are.
Huh. Yeah, that's true. I've been on it. What do you say about it, Nick? I mean, they sold all their rights, right? So to get them all back, I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy was a third, fourth rated comic book, but they needed to do that because some of their bigger names are not theirs still.
It kind of worked out that they didn't have all these core names at the beginning. I'm like, it's one of those things where at the time I was like, I wish they did, but I look back in retrospect, and I'm kind of glad that they did, not because of where we are now, but because I think they saw the situation as, all right, we're in a tight situation. All we've got is these characters like Captain America, Thor, Iron Man.
Yep.
And they are B2C listers as far as Marvel characters' well-knownness goes.
See, I always thought Iron Man was well-known. To me, Iron Man was always well-known.
I like the character, but we're in the minority here on that. Yeah. But that all said, they saw, all right, we are very limited with what we got, but we're going to do the absolute best that we can with what we got. And it was that whole, they had less to work with, but they put more time and effort into those things. And that's why I feel like I'm more fond of like movies like The Incredible Hulk or the first Captain America now than I was then. And like I said, I like those movies. That I did. I didn't really feel like I love them, but I enjoyed them. But
I loved Captain America.
I watched them and now, and I'm like, wow, these movies age really well. And not even because of wokeness, because I feel like with wokeness, we've kind of like reduced our standards by saying, well, it's not woke, which we should still forget. Just because it's not woke doesn't necessarily make it a good movie. So I don't let that dumb down my expectations. But I really did feel like watching, like, Edward Norton was a great, believable Bruce Banner.
Yeah,
I felt like Thros
more
was
serious.
A villain.
I
was like, wow. And the tonality of the Incredible Hulk is good too. The tonality of it is great. I was just like, my only complaint was just the CG in that afternoon fight and basically out in the park. Other than that, though, but that final fight with the Hulk and the Abomination was so badass.
Yeah,
and the first Captain America was a love letter to the Golden Age. And and I'm just like, wow, this is so good. This is quality superhero flicks. I really enjoy these flicks, and I'm gonna continue to rewatch these as time goes on. So I can at least say Phase 1, they do have rewatchability in them. Those movies do have lasting value.
Hell yeah.
I think The Incredible Hulk, Edward Norton was hated by everybody. That's why he was never going to be a part of this new Avengers thing.
Well, he's the one that gave it up. He wanted to do a different project.
He did.
But think about, Mad, go with this too. I mean, they took a freaking leap of faith with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Yes.
So, I mean, go on. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Keep going.
He just did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which I love. Such a great movie. That and the other guys, or the Nice Guys, which is like a sister prequel thing to Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Both of them are great. But the thing about Captain America is like they have yet to ever, and they're not going to, and I hope they don't now. But they never did the one thing that would have made it perfect, which was him doing his like iconic move of, "I'm not feeling well. Can you please pull over?" And then he gets out, and the guy's like, "Are you okay?" And then he runs around the car and steals it. Nobody remembers this from the 90s. Fuck you guys.
I wasn't listening.
Stay-at-home podcast. I left the MCU, but I really pray they don't do Secret Empire. I really pray they don't. But I know they will.
Well,
and that's going to ruin. That's going to destroy everything. That's going to be that is going to be a real Last Jedi moment.
See, that's true, Makini. And here's the thing: if that's what's going to go on, I mean, and I know I'm going to be getting on the prejudgmental wagon, I'll admit, but
I don't care about a prejudgmental wagon.
Oh, I don't care either. But my gist is we gotta not support these things at some point because they're gonna keep doing it. And I had this conversation with Vigilante and 24/7 Fusion Media recently. I feel like, especially with what has happened with He-Man, which we were all right about, by the way, but that's conversation for another day. All this outrage, and which is rightly so. I don't disagree with it. I'm not a He-Man fan, but I understand where it comes from. I get it. Mm-hmm. I feel like, what's it called? Netflix, Kevin Smith. I feel like they see us as good press. I mean, it's one thing when there's like your critical drinker and your nerd rocks doing it, but when every YouTuber under the sun is doing it, I think they're thriving off it. It's the Gene Simmons way of saying bad press is good press. I think it's gotten to a point where there's too many of us talk about to a point where we might even be making people curious to see it because we're all talking about it. I think we might be backfiring ourselves a little.
You want me to give you a good example?
Please.
I am not Starfire. Reason why? No. Let me bring this up because everybody's so cemented on how the character Mandy looks, how short and frumpy he is, how fast she is and such. But that was what that is a scapegoat. That's what they want you to focus on. That's what they want you to get outraged on, and not ignoring the fact that the book is downright hateful.
Right.
It is straight up hateful trash.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, of course. And it worked. It
worked. And sadly it worked. And that's why I stopped talking about it.
Well, and that's the thing, because you're giving them exactly what they want. I mean, I'm already at the point where I'm gonna have to mute Kevin Smith's name in my word list. Right. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if I see that cockhead anymore, I'm gonna end up swinging for someone.
Well, I had to stop. Well, I had to stop watching a bunch of videos, like like Gangers Clowns Face TV, because I'm like, I'm done hearing about this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've had enough because you're feeding the monster.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the catch-22 with what we do. You know, it really is. It's the catch-22 of what we do because you want to inform people so they don't have to go through it.
We do, but
yeah.
I mean, the problem is we're all still saying it. That's the issue. Like, I think it was more effective. It was more effective when it was just the nerdrotic and critical drinkers and your boy Zach's out there doing it. And the idea in theory sounded good for us to speak out more again because it looks like a numbers game and this many people don't like it. But I think now we're starting to see the result of that, and that result is not paying off. I feel like we were getting to more people and reaching them when Solo came out, but nowadays I feel like we're backfiring.
Well, attention is attention.
I don't talk about it at all.
Yeah, right. I feel like that was inevitable.
But I'm going to disagree with all of you right now. I mean, at least with Nick and a few others. To some extent, to some extent, you may be right that maybe it is overkill and stuff, but everybody has a different take, Nick. I mean,
I know they do. I know that.
So that's one of the things that it's really important to understand. And if all of us come at it from a different thing, I mean, Makini said, well, it's hateful content. It's not just that she's a terrible character, a terrible character model or anything like that, which she is. It's a self-insert, frumpy, looking short person that doesn't belong, in that story, because of that circumstance. That's the wrong thing to focus on. Overall, this is not good entertainment. It's not quality entertainment. Now, I cover things from the business side of thing. I'm like, okay, how is this making money? Right. And the thing is it's not. There is nobody that can show me that this garbage makes money, but they literally have people in positions of power in Disney that are saying, oh no, we have to do this. We're missing out on sales if we don't do this. Except they're losing more sales than they're gaining because they're marketing to this tiny, tiny bit of a tiny, tiny fraction of a tiny, tiny amount of
Yeah.
And it's the losses won't outweigh the gains.
We'll get you, Mad. Don't worry. Yeah, no, Mad, they don't.
I know. Matt's really excited to show you.
Let's get Mad. Yeah.
Thank you.
Jeez. All right.
You gotta help us. Would you pull the car over, please? I think I'm going to be sick. What? Would you please pull
I forgot about this.
I'm going to get sick. Okay, all right.
Greatest Captain America move ever. as subtle. It never fails. And everyone's safe.
What? Oh,
The legality of it may be a little questionable.
I mean,
but
you think? Let me get in the position.
he's not even driving.
What else has that actor been in? Not the assistant for
The second one. I love the Dukes of Hazzard.
All right, kill the music. We're gonna get screwed for it.
Oh God.
Oh God. Oh, that was worth that. I will never get that back, but that was good.
He does, that's not the only time he does it either. He does it again.
I love it. I love
Good
it.
grief.
Well, Nick, you brought up a good point that they didn't own their rights to a lot of their characters. I think, and someone else said, I think that's a good thing. I agree with that because of this reason. If they had the big ones right off the rip, they probably would have pulled what DC did. But because they had to introduce these characters to everybody, like for me, Captain America has always been a number one. Iron Man probably a level 2. Like, so those were big ones. Thor even a level 2. But for the normies out there, I get that. But if they started out with Spider-Man, jumped right into the X-Men, they would have missed the boat on the gradual Thanos incline that we went on. So we lucked out.
Well, look, we had a good franchise out of it.
Yep.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, Sony's got Spider-Man for a while until they stop making it. Universal has control of some of the theme park stuff, right? So Disney doesn't get to have complete ownership on some of these things,
right?
And that's not a bad thing.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Which means they're cooperating with another company, which the incentive is to try to keep the product good.
Right.
Spider-Man is the leader right now of the Avengers because you've gotten rid of anybody that anybody gave two shits about at this point.
Yeah.
And so they have to make Spider-Man good.
Yep.
And
well, with Brightest Day, do you agree on this though? Like, so instead we need to talk about the things we love. I think a lot of us have been going back to that.
I think we need moderation. And I think maybe culture may have misunderstood what I said earlier when I said I feel we have too many. It's not that we shouldn't have people talking about it at all, because we should have people like you talking about the business analysis, but I'm talking about the outrage of how much we hate it.
Oh yeah,
I feel like we had too much hate watching. So sorry if I wasn't specific enough. I feel like we're getting an overkill, but we need people like you for the data analysis. We do. We need a guy like a critical drinker who can see things from the inside and out, from the top to bottom. So we have guys like that who are plays for world. But as far as the guys like me or Sporking,
or not,
I don't feel like. I'm sorry. I don't want to feel like I'm speaking for you, Sporking. I'm just trying to make an example.
Go ahead.
I just feel like it's better if we let the ones who really know stuff from the inside out go for it, and then we cover other things, or cover different takes of it.
And that's the thing. And Nick, this is one of the things I really like about the way I'm seeing some other people do presentations. They are doing essentially compare and contrast. Okay, look at a good example of this is how it used to look. This is amazing. This is a beautiful panel drawn lovingly. The character looks, normal. The story is, morally based. Then look over here at what's being presented to you, which essentially is the tearing down of the morality. This base is corrupted. These stories are corrupted. These people are corrupted.
Yep.
Right. And they're presenting it to you in that way. It's just a different way. I mean, I could totally go back and do some of those videos again, like you're talking about. I just don't, like I said, it didn't get a lot of traction. Unfortunately, maybe I was not the person to do it. And that's the other cool thing about YouTube. My approach to something may suck and I may give up on it, but somebody else can do the same thing and they'll rock the box. And I think that's great. So look, there's a lot of things out there that I can be positive about. Matt and I talked about it. Tom and I talked about it. I mean, there you got the S. Craig Zahler stuff. You've got the Matt Vaughn. We talked about Matt Vaughn today. You've got a lot of guys that are making good stuff. Guy Ritchie, for the most part, when he's not compromised by studios and you've got a lot of these great people that are doing great things with the properties that they control. It's the problem is when you give up the control of your thing, which is why Gary says it Az says it. A lot of people are saying it. Don't give up your stuff. If you create something, retain 1,000% creative control, final authority on its presentation in any form or fashion.
I
mean, that's what initially made Todd McFarlane very powerful and built his empire for as brief as it lasted. I mean, I know he still has considerable means, but he essentially could have gone the right way. And you can like what the films that Guy Ritchie does, or you can like the things that as Craig Zahler does, or you can like the Matt Vaughn stuff. But if you look at what's being created, you look at Mr. Nobody, right? Or actually, I guess it was just Nobody, or Wrath of Man, or some of these other things that are coming out of the wings. Those are good things I can point at. Like
Peg.
There's
and
another.
He loves you.
Yeah, there's in the John Wick films. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Freaking amazing.
I love it.
And then you have this film that I'm touting like crazy because it's gonna not get the kind of attention it deserves, called Protege, with Maggie Q, with Michael Keaton, and with Samuel L. Jackson. You have a perfect film there with a lot of tones and themes that you've seen before, but presented in an amazing way. And Maggie Q, you believe she could whoop your ass because she can.
And she made it believable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She is the heroine in this film, but she's presented.
Not interested.
She's presented alongside men who will punch her back. This is going to be a legit film and it could be something bigger than what it is, just like what Matt Vaughn was able to do. Matt Vaughn, like I said, when the new Kingsman film comes out, the historical context for its formation, I think that movie's going to be banger. So, but I mean, that it is what it is. Anyway, I've said my piece, but there's a lot out there. So I knew what you were getting at, Nick. I just think that you're gonna have a lot of people want to talk about a lot of things that they don't like.
I know. I'd rather also watch you guys repeat something that with your own perspective that all the big dogs do than watch a makeup thing that 7 million little girls do on this YouTube thing. So it's good that we have our places, but I do want to move on because we're gonna be shutting down in about 10 minutes. But I want to get your guys' take on this. But I agree with both of you guys, and you're both very sexy men. All right, so this is Loki director Kate Herron responds to an abusive fans' comments, which they were. So this is the fans' comment. Thanks for ruining Loki, you fat skank. Okay, definitely wrong. Okay, definitely wrong. Wait a minute. Let me just read the whole thing. She returns back with hot, fat, and available to tank your major franchise. What do you guys think about her even responding?
We're going the Taka Waititi route with this.
Okay, this is.
Oh man, this is bad both ways.
This is the kind of shit I'm talking.
Yeah, about. You go first, Makini, and then we'll go around the clock.
This is the kind of thing where they look at this and they pinpoint this one comment, and that's what they use to attack the entire fandom. That's what they think. The entire fandom is just like that one person. That one person, and we always have to, and that's the thing, we always have to come out and say, that one person doesn't represent all of us. That doesn't represent the entire fandom. You're just looking for the most extreme comment, and you're going to use it as your freaking scapegoat, as you use your way to attack the entire fandom. We saw this shit with this crap with Ron Mars earlier this week, as well as your boy Zach covered that too. It's always thing that keeps happening,
right?
And I'm honestly sick of that. It's like the whole thing. Okay, it's like the whole shit. And I have to bring this up, Scott, because I know you. I know. Remember you told me this. We don't control. We have no control over who our fans are.
Right.
So if they go, and that's why I always say, do not contact this person. Don't ever contact them, because that's what they're going to take what we do. And if somebody goes over there and tells them, they're going to place the blame on us. They're going to blame us for our fans, thinking that we sent our fans to attack them. We have no response for them, and we immediately condemn the actions of our fans. And if you're a fan, I'm dead serious when I say this, if you're a fan of mine and you're going to pull some shit like this, you're not a fan of mine.
Right.
You're better than this.
That's nothing new.
It's nothing new.
Like,
it is not nothing new.
Right. It's very mild what he did, but it is wrong.
What stands out in this.
What? It's her response.
Yeah, it's her Taka Waikiki response.
That's what.
Mythos in a minute, baby.
It just shows what lack of creativity, like how much like she just lacks it. She can't even come with her own comebacks. This is still it from Taka Waikiki.
Right, that guy.
Yeah, Taka Waikiki. He's from New Zealand, so guys, you don't know how to pronounce it. Like I got.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh, really? Okay.
But yeah, what do you think, Sam, about hot, fat, and available to tank your major franchise?
Oh, for fuck's sake! We're dealing with a bunch of school kids, for Christ's sake. Yeah. Honestly,
it's bait. It's freaking bait.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, well said, Maki. I completely agree.
I really thought he was going to see me on that one.
It's just.
You know what, Sam? Get your thought. Wait a minute. Get your thoughts. I'm really sorry. Nick has to bounce real quick.
Sorry.
He has dad stuff to do. 32 Flavor, Nick Weiser. Thank you for being here. Tell them where they can find you.
I'm on YouTube's right here. All right. And folks, these celebrities need to. We got to stop feeding them this rage. They are feeding off this shit. But I'm here at 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser. I'm on YouTube. Please check me out. I cover pizza. I talk Toxic Tuesday. We'll be back this Tuesday. We were off for a week or two. We'll be covering Speed this week. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, Friday Night Comic Talk as well. We'll be talking indie books this week. All right?
Can you read this, Nick?
Nick Weiser, flavor number 5. Kevin Smith's bottom bitch, Bukkake Blast.
That's Terminus S for $5. Thank you, brother. Nick, thank you so much for being here. I'll see you soon, buddy.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Later, buddy. Later. All right. That's me. Hi. Hi, how's everybody? Oh, crap. There it is. All right. So, Sam, you got your thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, it's just immaturity all around, really. Both sides, I hasten to add. It's just immaturity. People just need to understand that whoever throws the first punch, it's going to descend into this type of crap.
Yep.
These people have already decided the worst in bad faith, so don't give them what they want.
Right. And he was wrong. We are definitely saying that. He is wrong. I'm saying that on my channel. He was wrong.
Absolutely.
He's an idiot. But again, this is like a Kevin Smith thing, but worse. Like, there was no need for you to respond. No need for you to. I think Twitter is the most dangerous tool because people react. Mm-hmm. People think of something, they don't take a minute to just sit back. Yeah,
like what
all
Mango
reaction.
did.
Yeah. What did he say again? That was
Mango just went off the rails.
Nuts
about Indiana Jones. Yeah.
I mean, people
what was that great quote? Twitter has made people far too used to not getting smacked in the mouth.
Yeah, it's
right,
so true.
And it's starting to become a scientific. It's starting to become like proven that you actually get dumber the longer you look at Twitter. The dumber you get.
Yeah, and I get what TT's saying here. It's a tweet. It's not a declaration of war.
It's not, but
she responds like it is. She definitely escalated.
Yeah, and it's those kind of situations where they'll paint the entire fandom. They'll paint the entire community just on that one tweet. They think that like this person represents all of us.
Right. And E. Clay says it good. Unprofessional. What do you think there, Culture Casino? Or Sam?
No, that's it. It's completely unprofessional. And no, I'm with Maki on this one. That's all. You're giving them all the evidence they need when you do this crap.
Oh, I know. Like you responding, to destroy pretty much your franchise, just like Taka Waikiki. Yeah, him. You kind of put it good, Sam. Whoever throws the first punch isn't the one that gets caught. It's the one that retaliates. And that's what these actors and directors and writers and producers they're retaliating, and they're the ones that look worse than a dick who called her a fat skank, which he should never have done.
What's worse is just like you have plenty of people who have legitimate criticisms and who are very formal about their criticisms, and they're not even addressing that.
Well, of course not. But by the way, It's also funny how this is the only one that they show like she responded to.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like the way
Exactly.
they make it sound, there's just hundreds upon hundreds.
This is the only one we
Twitter.
see.
This
Right.
is the only one, right? Like everyone
Right.
talks about all the hate and the death threats, but rarely do we see any receipts. And when we do, it's mediocre or like mild at best. You know?
Right. For a split second, on your left side of this, halfway up, it's a leaf. I thought that was feet with elf shoes, and I thought maybe you had like Walton diving deep into a tree or something.
No. This is
all right.
No, this is a Frank Frazetta inspired piece that I was doing on Sunday, and I finished it. I was working on it last night.
What do you think? That it's beautiful, man. What do you think, Culture Casino?
Just to put some context around this, and I know we're drawing to a close, so just think of it this way, guys. People who consider themselves or regard themselves as politically active or invested or involved and pretty much focus primarily on sources of I can't speak. Sources of social media, news media, etc., and that defines most of the time that you spend in your life. There have been scientific studies that will let you know that you are only responding with the emotional side of your brain when you are confronted with anything that challenges those assertions. So if you are politically active, you will no longer allow yourself to hear what somebody else might say. So since everything now is political, they've weaponized that to make it so that everybody responds to that with an emotion and not with any conscious thought. That is not critical thinking. That's the elimination of the critical portion of your brain. They identified this doing multinodal studies of people's responses, across their brain. So the reasoning portion of your brain when you're responding to these things, because you're so politically invested, there's no reasoning. Your reasoning doesn't get engaged there. It's a completely emotional response now.
Right. And if your reasoning doesn't engage, then that instinct of fear of, not rebuttal, but the cause and effect of it, that's out the window too. So you don't even worry I could lose my job. I can get arrested.
Right. So if you don't possess an emotional IQ, that is of some strength, you're going to end up saying something that will put you in a bad way, which is why I do try to limit my ad hominem attacks to things that are fairly neutral, like knuckleheads and stuff like that, right? And so I don't like to call people names. I think it immediately undermines the argument or a statement that you've made. Right. And so I do try to limit that. It's still occasionally my emotions will get the better of me, but at the same time, this is what social media does. It forces you into a situation where you've not engaged your critical thinking. So take a minute, because believe me, this is the kind of article that's written in the particular way, by the way it's framed, because it's tainted journalism, yellow journalism in whatever form or fashion that will misrepresent information. It may present a fact, it just misrepresents the fact, or it tries to define the fact as meaning something else.
Right.
Again. I struggle with this. I try to make sure that I engage my critical side of my brain, whereas you get into conversation with a family member about politics and you're both diametrically opposed, that becomes an emotional conversation rather than one of that involves critical thinking, because they don't engage that way.
Right.
And it's gaslight journalism. That's 1,000% right.
Good way of putting it, man.
Anyway, just a little information.
I enjoy. Thank you.
You have to be very smart to see to see when they do that, because when they gaslight, it shows that they don't have an argument. They don't have a real argument. You need to see that. And I think a lot of people are starting to a lot more people are falling for the whole gaslight thing. Like, we covered this on episode 9 of Rogue Entertainment. Culture was there with me when I talked about the whole situation regarding Lola Bunny's design in Space Jam 2, and the director saying that we're a bunch of weirdos for that. It was straight up gaslighting.
Yep.
It's like, you guys are not seeing what. It's I won't say it's a bait and switch, but that's kind of the purpose of gaslighting, is like they're trying to put you in a corner which is why you're supposed to put them where you're trying to put them, because they don't have an argument. They have nothing.
They already have their garbage in place, which is why they're like, oh, you just want something to masturbate to. No,
that was the same thing with She-Ra. That was the exact same thing
with all of this. It's the constant thing, and I'm like, well, no, actually, we appreciate the feminine form just like you appreciate the male form, so much so that you want to make all the women men in the art that you're drawing nowadays.
Yep,
as they should be.
I mean, it is. Dude, you know what? Now, Mad, you know what? That explains a lot.
It does.
Your girlfriend should probably know.
So I know Matt was baiting.
Oh, he has a girlfriend.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like, you think I hate women in movies?
See,
yeah, my girlfriend, she hates.
See.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up.
Girlfriend,
right. From the, like the Niagara Falls area. I got you. All right, boys and girls, we're going to call it a night. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Let's go around the horn and do a quick outro. Sam McCabe, let them know where they can find you.
Look, you can find me on Twitter at the handle below, Samuel McCabe _01. I'm also on YouTube with my brother. Please subscribe. We're like a bee's bit away from 60 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do. That'd be greatly appreciated. I've also released my latest installment of my Politics in Publishing series. So if you could give that a watch, that would be great too. And also, because YouTube is playing Funny Buggers, please make sure you're subscribed or resubscribed, as the case may be, to everyone on this panel. You're all wonderful. Have a lovely day.
Thank you, man. I haven't caught your. I must have missed your politics one. So I'm gonna check that out. That sounds awesome. Thank you for being here, buddy. You're always welcome to come Wednesday nights. You are an OG Wednesday nighter here. So
thanks for having me.
Oh, anytime. And then we have Machini 90.
All right, thank you guys, everybody, for stopping by. If you guys want to still keep up with me for the rest of the day, I will be on Twitch hanging out with OrdsBored for the Wednesday Chill Chat Fortnite edition. So definitely see you there. But tomorrow is the spiciest art stream on Thursdays with me, Mads Mama Bear, and Rosetta Allen. We're going to be drawing some new mascots. So
Nude?
You probably won't be new mascots. So you probably won't be seeing Bubblegum on the Thursday stream in the future. So definitely check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, Saturday is the return of Machini Live Presents Rogue Entertainment. We're on episode 10, and we're going to have a very special guest in Mandy Summers will be joining us this Saturday. So definitely check that out. And of course, Sunday, right after the Sunday Culture Review is, of course, our main show, Machini Live. And with me, Mads Mama Bear, Bruce Lombardo, and M. Dashley. Come check that out. We're going to have a lot of fun on your Sunday afternoon. Other than that, guys, just a little quick update. I'm probably going to announce it on Friday. When I do the ARC auction and everything. Like I said, I have... Yes?
Sweet.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, hey, like I said, I already got the frame and everything, so I'm gonna definitely try to see if it fits in tonight, and definitely want to. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little silent auction for you guys, and I'll probably have it last for like maybe throughout the weekend, throughout a couple of days, and then at the end, whoever makes the highest bid, I will send them the signed original drawing of Batman that I did, mailed and framed and everything, and I am looking into making some prints just in case, some limited prints for you guys just in case. Ords was asking about that too. And on top of that, other than that, I am fully closed on commissions right now, and I'm working on the last one or so, and I will be opening back up probably late in the fall, probably around November or so. But other than that, plenty more content come from me. We're working. Our goal now. Our new goal is 1K by the end of this year.
Ooh, let's get it done.
We're making it push. Like the same way that Culture wants to get to 5K by the end of this year. So
Yep. And as Jacob says, thank you everybody for all the support. We really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit the like button on your way out if you haven't hit it yet. Mad, let them know where they can find you, buddy.
Yeah, you can find me on my channel, Mad Barber Entertainment. Wednesday, Saturday, Street Spons. It's the greatest stream you've never seen. Subscribe.
Is that before or after Strangeness? Okay. Strangeness.
I was trying to make it quick because I know how long Culture is going to
I know. Thank you. I got a couple super chats too. No, I appreciate it. Guys, The kid's where are you at? How many subscribers? You're under subscribed. Yeah.
Oh, I'm way under subscribed.
Yeah, you're way. It's pathetic. It's really, really sad. Like, really you deserve a lot better. So hopefully, guys, if you are not subscribed to these guys on the panel, we can't grow without the support of like you guys. So it really helps us out.
I will be doing a giveaway at 700.
I'm doing a giveaway in July. Become a channel member, not member, become a subscriber, make a comment on at least one video, and after the stream is over, and and you're ready to go.
Not giving away shit on my channel.
I'm drinking this at 5K.
Nice. Oh shit. Nice. Andy McCullum for 199 pounds. What is that, Culture?
It's pound.
It's pound, right? Oh my God, I heard it. I should have went for pound first time. And it says vibes. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate you saying some cool stuff up there too.
That's real money. That's actual real money that he's giving.
Yeah, this is not. Super chat, Culture Casino, $5 super chats. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
Super chat.
Super chat. But yeah.
I don't
see a link out there of you.
Wait,
that sucks.
That would help with
you have a link?
Just move on. Like, he's there.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to say thank you. I'm not kidding. Everybody's already said it, but thank you all for being here. Do double check your subscriptions because I'm losing them faster than I'm gaining them right now, which is weird. I keep putting out content on a daily. You can usually catch me on my channel doing at least 8 live streams a week, which means I'm busy. Also, you can catch me on somewhere between 17 and 22 live streams on other people's channels. And not to mention, I usually drop at least one video a week on my channel that tries to do some form of analysis. And they're long. And people usually tap out about halfway through. But if you could stick through to the end, you might feel like there's value towards the end. But anyway, I really appreciate all of you guys. We've had such a great stream. We've had great chat. You guys are the whole reason we're here. We appreciate you more than you could possibly know. Do support my buddy Mad Martigan at Mad Barber Entertainment. That's one of the places I hang out. Obviously, I'm one of the rogues with Scott and several others here, including the great artist Makini. You can find us doing the rogue entertainment stuff. Do check that out as we get closer and closer to launching not only our own channel that's just Rogue Entertainment, but also as we get closer to launching the store with products and all the other stuff. There's a myriad of stuff coming down the pipe once this all goes live, and I'm very excited for what's going to happen there. Other than that, thank you all. Scott, you're the best, man.
Thank you, brother. Okay, so here's Mad's freaking link because he was, no one wants to link me. There you go, crying like a bitch,
the right one.
I don't know if it is.
I'm looking right now.
It looks like it has your.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay, good. I love that Makini doesn't have yours. That is awesome, Makini. You're a fucking gangster.
Oh, like it dropped his nothing. Nothing.
I love him. I love it. I love who Makini has become. Just build into that, Makini. Keep growing. Screw the little guy. Step all over him if you must. I mean, support independent content creators.
You know what? That's an amazing thing. Yeah, I started out as a mod on your channel, and now I'm a regular panel.
Yeah, man, it is crazy how that happened.
Step everything that was just said, go into a completely different topic.
I'm sorry.
All right, everybody, have a great night. I want to thank all my channel members. The Oberyn Martell level, we have Valliant Renegade, Larry, Lady Tauriel, and Culture Casino. Thank you guys very much. And for my highest level, Littlefinger level, Tina Bojan, Toxic Man Flu, Jake D, Who Knew the Salt Must Flow. And from all my Hot Pie level guys, thank you. I will make sure in August we do it.
What level am I at?
I think you're Hot Pie.
Yeah, you're like nap time level.
Yeah, you're like you're Walton like cup of brew type level.
Yeah, you're the Walton's best brew level.
Yeah,
Who came up with these levels?
I did. It's not called Walton's best, but
cup of stuff.
Are you still even there? Oh no, shit! You're Oh my God, Mad Martigan, you're Oberyn Martell level. So I must add you to my list.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, I was wondering why. Like,
I am so sorry, buddy.
What's interesting is I updated the credits. I didn't have to update the credits at all during today's stream.
I know we didn't get any new channel members, but that's okay. Saturday night we will get them again. Thank you to everybody though. If I've missed you, E. Clay Thomason. He's a freaking Open Martell. Why have I missed all this? Have people changed their stuff?
Dude, people upgraded. Yeah, I had to dance a bunch of stuff on your thing. Oh,
yeah.
E. Clay Thomason, I have added you to my credits, and I appreciate your support.
So I'm going to read it all over again real quick. Culture Casino, Lady Tauriel, Valliant Renegade, E. Clay, and Mad Martigan and Larry Oben Martell levels. And then the rest, the little fingers were correct. Thank you guys. I'm so sorry about that.
And to anybody who's wondering about the Activision Blizzard stuff, we're going to cover that on Saturday.
Nice.
I'm going in depth on that one.
Yeah, I was going to bring it up. We didn't have the time. So we'll have fun talking about that on Saturday.
It's growing. It's a developing story. And
whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of like this.
And it is a reminder, I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so having said that, I want me some glory hole.
You know, you need to put a little respect on the man. Like,
yeah, no, I'll never. I need clips. I don't know how to do that. That's the only clip I ever did.
Check the chat.
I got some more clips for you if you like.
Oh, Andy! Yeah! That's awesome, dude. Thank you so much. Andy is a Hot Pie level member. That is the price of a Walton's cup of coffee a month. So thank you very much, sir.
Very much. Yeah. Dude, and I love your avatar, by the way. I love the Loki puppy.
Yeah, I at first thought it was a deer, and then I realized what it was. That's awesome. So thank you, guys. We're going to put a spork in it. We're going to finish the night. We will have you on the banner next week, sir. But until then, this goes out to all my channel members. Put a spork in it.
Do you say...
You're all the best. You are the best supporters. Oh, shit, I don't see you. Oh, culture. Have a great night, everybody.